time. Have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Do not comply. Get off my lawn. From high atop the battlements of Castle Moneybags, where we make Donald Trump and Scrooge McDuck look like a couple of homeless vagrant wastrels. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America and all ships at sea. Welcome to the first live stream of the monetization era. I am your eponymous host and humble servant, and we are joined, because of course we are, by America's most distinguished large furry hominid. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Caucasian Sasquatch. A pleasant good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Money Grabbing program. How are we doing today?
The filthy money grabbing live stream. Tell the folks what we're going to get up to tonight, Squatch.
Oh, we're watching some stuff, reacting to some stuff, and he's actually found a match, an Ali match I haven't seen, I think. Is that right?
Yes. Muhammad Ali versus Chuck Wepner, 24 March 1977, Richfield Coliseum, Cleveland, Ohio. And if I can remember how to do this whole live streaming thing, then I'm going to put that up on the screen right now.
Good luck. I hope it works out for you.
Yeah, I do too. It might not, though.
Who can tell?
All right.
While you do that, I'll play with the nipple of the universe over here.
Yes.
Hey, we have activity. It's happening. Things are occurring. Sound is the next step, I think. Or we can skip the sound and just talk about their terrible shorts.
Yeah, hold on. I'm working on it.
Dude, don't take me too serious. You're liable to give yourself an ulcer.
That's better, right?
I still don't hear it.
Oh, you don't hear it? All right.
I do not hear it.
Work on that.
Hello, Ajot. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Queen Bird, welcome in.
Ajot's here. Hi, Ajot.
We got a Swiss Miz in the background over here somewhere. And Queen Bird gave
Swiss
$10.
Miz too. The All-Stars are all showing up, ain't they?
Oh, yeah.
Queen Bird, $10 super chat. Ladies and gentlemen, I had it on very good authority that anybody who thought they were getting the first chat would have to fight Queen Bird. Unfortunately, we don't have to see that fight because Queen Bird got the first super chat, which, as promised, I am going to frame and hang on the wall like a proud new restaurant owner.
Beautiful, man.
Thank you very much, Queen Bird. That's very gracious of you.
Absolutely.
Is this video playing? Because it's not playing on my screen.
It was glitching there for a second, and it doesn't. It seems to be wanting to play.
See, I'm just so hopeless at all this shit, and when I haven't done it in a few months, I'm even more hopeless.
Yup, it's like that, dude. It's sort of like riding a bike if a bicycle was like, a hang glider. Because there's no net.
Yeah. We're professionals here, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a professional here, ladies and gentlemen. I am a very hot.
Tell the people how many views my Johnny Cash video has.
Oh, my dear Lord. When I checked earlier, it was at like 78,000 and suddenly it's hit 80.
Yep.
It's hit 80. Boy, 80,000 views. My man's blowing them up. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. The last few days, it's been doing like 8,000-9,000 a day, which really caught me by surprise. I got to tell you, because there was that first big peak about 5 days after it came out when I was like, Jesus, I'm going to have a hard time matching that. And then it drops down a little bit for another week. And then boom, it's doing double what the first big peak was now.
I have a prediction. Oh, we got another super chat. We have Swiss Miss saying she would
Oh,
never
wow.
challenge the queen. I told
Swiss
him
Miss.
before we went live that there was a chance that there might be a fist fight between you and Queen Bird just because you like making people mad.
Thank you very much indeed, both of you ladies. I appreciate it more than I could possibly express, and I would not have had, if I could have picked two people to be the first two super checks, I would have picked the two of you. So thank you very much again.
Yay! I'm so proud of you, dude. I really am. And I'm going to joke around and talk a lot about causing all of this, but the reality of it is you did it. You did the thing. You did exactly what I've been bitching at you for the past 6 months to do, which is what you need to be doing.
Yep, see those rabbit punches? Eventually, Ali gets so tired of all the rabbit punches from Wepner, he says, fine, I'm just going to rabbit punch the son of a bitch back if you're not going to do anything about it. I mean, if this is legal, then let's have at it, right?
Right? Why not?
But yeah, I guess is it playing now? Because
it's playing, but there's no sound. We don't need the sound per se. I mean,
it still doesn't on my screen. It still looks like it's not playing at all.
It is kind of glitchy.
Is it playing full screen?
No, you haven't clicked the little box down there in the corner of the thing.
What, that one?
The full screeny one. I don't know what it's called.
I am not a professional, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't have the faintest idea what I'm doing here.
Yeah, I can only talk him through so much of it. I can't actually press the buttons for it.
It's true. You know, there's a limit to how far you can hold a man's hand.
Well, now I'm intrigued. Let's see how far that could go, baby. You're like, I got time. You're a strapping specimen of a man. I'm
got 2 super chats in the first 8 minutes?
5 minutes. Yeah.
That's pretty high. I kind of like that.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen, even though there will never be any as special as those first 2.
Absolutely. So this guy, well, close.
No, that's not what I wanted to do.
Keep poking. That was close. That was almost it. It's the other button. It's the one in the actual browser, not the one in the StreamYard.
Yeah, I know. I did that before. I went to the browser and I tried to.
But then you tried to change the sound.
Yeah.
There you go. Dollar bills, baby.
It?
That's it.
Boom, bitch.
Boom shakalaka. All right, we can deal with a little bit of glitchiness. That'll be fine. Dude, some of those punches are coming in below the belt. He's standing on his feet, on top of the head and stuff. This is dirty.
This guy is the dirtiest fighter in the history of the Western Hemisphere. But if you listen to him or Sly Stallone talk about this fight,
hold on, does that count Roddy Piper too? I don't think that counts Roddy Piper. He was the dirtiest fighter.
Okay, fine. And he wore a very nice kilt.
Very nice dress. He'd drink Bud Light and enjoy it.
He probably would. He's probably drinking Bud Light in the big wrestling ring in the sky right now.
Well, he lost the feed over there, bud. It's gone black.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, dude. Yeah,
hey, let me tell you.
Black on my screen too.
Some of my best streams have honestly been me sitting around completely freaking out over something going wrong that I couldn't fix. Absolutely glory.
Yep. And then it goes black again.
All right, plan B. Let's see what I can do with this.
All right, yeah, you want to try it? Because you're better at this stuff than I am.
I just do it a totally different way, and I'm gonna try to get it to work. So let me mute up and stop my camera right quick. You reset everything, get whatever. I need you to, if you know how, I need you to drop the link for the video in the private chat.
I think I can manage that. Yep.
Fantastic.
1 moment. right. And we're copying the link. And we're dropping it in the private chat. And there it is.
Yep.
And there, I'll just make it go away on my end, and you can deal with it on your end.
Right. All right. Give me 2 seconds. I wonder if I can just share this. You want the sound, and you want.
And also, just so the people know, there's a great speech from history I want to do for this stream. I was when I was doing the background for the Oppenheimer review the other night, I was doing some reading about General Groves, who of course ran the Manhattan Project along with Oppenheimer, and reading about what he got up to after the war. And in his capacity as the head of the West Point Alumni Association, he had the honor of introducing General Douglas MacArthur on I forget the date, May 1962, I believe it was, where he went to West Point to accept the Sylvanus Thayer Award, and General Groves introduced him on that day, and MacArthur gave one of the greatest speeches in American history. It's become known as the Duty Honor Country speech. And
oh yeah,
I got to reading it. I read the entire speech for the first time in a long time, and before I got to the end, I said, God, I have to do this speech. If I've got a playlist called Great Speeches from History and I don't do this speech, that would be a little bit shameful.
So all right, you have two choices. You can swap places with me and then do the small camera with big screen, and I'll make me as small as you, and we'll figure out where to put me so that I'm over by you somewhere, however you got this set up.
All right, run me through that again.
All right. You got a mouse over there, right?
Yes. Well, I got a touchpad.
Ooh. Okay. Well, do the click on me and drag me to where you're at. Just literally. There you go. All right. Now go down here to the little blue arrow down thing where it shows you all your different. Wait, hold on. You gave me controls. Bro. Why ain't
Thank God.
Like this? Right. Yeah. Something like that. That good enough to suit you?
That works for me.
All right. Giggity, giggity. Okie dokie pokey. Well, then
this is why he's the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Applause all around, and the crowd.
Applause all around.
Championship of the world at stake.
Sometimes the host needs to be saved from himself, and this is one of those times.
Weapon comes bouncing across the ring and looks as though he wants to be aggressive right away. Ali, known for slow starts.
I'm going to pull the sound level down a little bit.
Try and show his footwork early in the fight.
Yeah, this is way the hell better than I was doing.
Let's not forget one thing, Ali does not dance like this for 7 or 8, 9 rounds anymore. He puts on these displays.
There you go.
What do you think? Should we mute the fight and I'll do the speech while we're watching that? Because I got it queued up on the prompter here.
You can. Go ahead, bro.
All right, let's do that. Begin quote. General Westmoreland, General Groves, distinguished guests, and gentlemen of the Corps. As I was leaving the hotel this morning, a doorman asked me, "Where are you bound for, General?" And when I replied West Point, he remarked, "Beautiful place. Have you ever been there before?" No human being could fail to be deeply moved by such a tribute as this, coming from a profession I have served so long and a people I have loved so well. It fills me with an emotion I cannot express. But this award is not intended primarily to honor a personality, but to symbolize a great moral code, the code of conduct and chivalry of whose guard this beloved land of culture and ancient descent. That is the meaning of this medallion. For all eyes and for all time, it is an expression of the ethics of the American soldier. That I should be integrated in this way with so noble an ideal arouses a sense of pride and yet of humility, which will be with me always. Duty, honor, country. Those three hallowed words reverently dictate what you ought to be, what you can be, what you will be. They are your rallying points to build courage when courage seems to fail, to regain faith when there seems to be little cause for faith, to create hope when hope becomes forlorn. Unhappily, I possess neither that eloquence of diction, that poetry of imagination, nor that brilliance of metaphor to tell you all what they mean. The unbelievers will say they are but words, but a slogan, but a flamboyant phrase. Every pedant, every demagogue, every cynic, every hypocrite, every troublemaker, and I am sorry to say, some others of an entirely different character, will try to downgrade them even to the extent of mockery and ridicule. But these are some of the things they do. They build your basic character. They mold you for your future roles as the custodians of the nation's defense. They make you strong enough to know when you are weak and brave enough to face yourself when you are afraid. They teach you to be proud and unbending in honest failure, but humble and gentle in success. Not to substitute words for action, not to seek the path of comfort, but to face the stress and spur of difficulty and challenge. To learn to stand up in the storm, but to have compassion on those who fall. To master yourself before you seek to master others. To have a heart that is clean, a goal that is high. To yearn to laugh, yet never forget how to weep. To reach into the future, yet never neglect the past. To be serious, yet never take yourself too seriously. To be modest so that you will remember the simplicity of true greatness, the open mind of true wisdom, the meekness of true strength. They give you a temper of the will, a quality of the imagination, a vigor of the emotions, a freshness of the deep springs of life, a temperamental predominance of courage over timidity, an appetite for adventure over love of ease. They create in your heart the sense of wonder, the unfailing hope of what next, and the joy and inspiration of life. They teach you in this way to be an officer and a gentleman. And what sort of soldiers are those you are to lead? Are they reliable? Are they brave? Are they capable of victory? Their story is known to all of you. It is the story of the American man-at-arms. My estimate of him was formed on the battlefields many, many years ago and has never changed. I regarded him then, as I regard him now, as one of the world's noblest figures, not only as one of the finest military characters, but also as one of the most stainless. His name and fame are the birthright of every American citizen. In his youth and strength, his love and loyalty, he gave all that mortality can give. He needs no eulogy from me or from any other man. He has written his own history and written it in red upon his enemy's breast. But when I think of his patience under adversity, of his courage under fire, and of his modesty in victory, I am filled with an emotion of admirations I cannot put into words. He belongs to history as furnishing one of the greatest examples of successful patriotism. He belongs to posterity as the instructor of future generations in the principles of liberty and freedom. He belongs to the present, to us, by his virtues and by his achievements. In 20 campaigns on 100 battlefields, around 1,000 campfires, I have witnessed that enduring fortitude, that patriotic self-abnegation, and that invincible determination which has carved his statue in the hearts of his people. From one end of the world to the other, he has drained deep the chalice of courage. As I listened to those songs of the Glee Club, in memory's eye, I could see those staggering columns of the First World War, bending under soggy packs on many a weary march from dripping dusk to drizzling dawn, slogging ankle deep through mire of shell-pocked roads to form grimly for the attack, blue-lipped, covered with sludge and mud, chilled by the wind and rain, driving home to their objective, and for many, to the judgment seat of God. I do not know the dignity of their birth, but I do know the glory of their death. They died unquestioning, uncomplaining, with faith in their hearts and on their lips the hope that we would go on to victory. Always for them, duty, honor, country. Always their blood and sweat and tears as they saw the way and the light. And 20 years after, on the other side of the globe, against the filth of dirty foxholes, the stench of ghostly trenches, the slime of dripping dugouts, those boiling suns of the relentless heat, those torrential rains of devastating storms, the loneliness and utter desolation of jungle trails, the bitterness of long separation of those they loved and cherished, the deadly pestilence of tropical disease, the horror of stricken areas of war. Their resolute and determined defense, their swift and sure attack, their indomitable purpose, their complete and decisive victory. Always victory, always through the bloody haze of their last reverberating shot, the vision of gaunt, ghastly men, reverently following your password of duty, honor, country. The code which those words perpetuate embraces the highest moral laws and will stand the test of any ethics or philosophies ever promulgated for the uplift of mankind. Its requirements are for the things that are right, and its restraints from the things that are wrong. The soldier, above all other men, is required to practice the greatest act of religious training, sacrifice. In battle and in the face of danger and death, he discloses those divine attributes which his Maker gave when he created man in his own image. No physical courage and no brute instinct can take the place of the divine help which alone can sustain him. However horrible the incidents of war may be, the soldier who is called upon to offer and to give his life for his country is the noblest development of mankind. You now face a new world, a world of change. The thrust into outer space of the satellites, spheres, and missiles marked the beginning of another epoch in the long history of mankind, the chapter of the space age. In the 5 or more billions of years the scientists tell us it has taken to form the Earth, in the 3 or more billions of years of development of the human race, there has never been a greater, a more abrupt, or more staggering evolution. We deal now not with things of this world alone, but with the illimitable distances and as yet unfathomed mysteries of the universe. We are reaching out for a new and boundless frontier. We speak in strange terms of harnessing the cosmic energy, of making winds and tides work for us, of creating unheard synthetic materials to supplement or even replace our old standard basics, of purifying seawater for our drink, of mining ocean floors for new fields of wealth and food, of disease preventatives to expand life into the hundreds of years, of controlling the weather for a more equitable distribution of heat and cold, of rain and shine, of spaceships to the moon, of the primary target in war, no longer limited to the armed forces of an enemy, but instead to include his civil populations, of ultimate conflict between a united human race and the sinister forces of some other planetary galaxy, of such dreams and fantasies as to make life the most exciting of all time. And through all this welter of change and development, your mission remains fixed, determined, inviolable. It is to win our wars. Everything else in your professional career is but corollary to this vital dedication. All other public purpose, all other public projects, all other public needs, great or small, will find others for their accomplishments. But you are the ones who are trained to fight. Yours is the profession of arms, the will to win, the sure knowledge that in war there is no substitute for victory, that if you lose, the nation will be destroyed, that the very obsession of your public service must be duty, honor, country. Others will debate the controversial issues, national and international, which divide men's minds, but serene, calm, aloof, you stand as the nation's war guardians, as its lifeguards from the raging tides of international conflict, as its gladiators in the arena of battle. For a century and a half, you have defended, guarded, and protected its hallowed traditions of liberty and freedom, of right and justice. Let civilian voices argue the merits or demerits of our processes of government, whether our strength is being sapped by deficit financing indulged in too long, by federal paternalism grown too mighty, by power groups grown too arrogant, by politics grown too corrupt, by crime grown too rampant, by morals grown too low, by taxes grown too high, by extremists grown too violent. Whether our personal liberties are as firm and as complete as they should be. These great national problems are not for your professional participation or military solution. Your guidepost stands out like a tenfold beacon in the night. Duty, honor, country. You are the leaven which binds together the entire fabric of our national system of defense. From your ranks come the great captains who held the nation's destiny in their hands in the moment the war tocsin sounds. The long gray line has never failed us. Were you to do so, a million ghosts in olive drab, in brown khaki, in blue and gray would rise from their white crosses, thundering those magic words: duty, honor, country. That does not mean that you are warmongers. On the contrary, the soldier, above all other people, prays for peace, for he must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war. But always in our ears ring the ominous words of Plato, that wisest of all philosophers: only the dead have seen the end of war. The shadows are lengthening for me. My twilight is here. My days of old have vanished, tone and tints. They have gone glimmering through the dreams of things that were. Their memory is one of wondrous beauty, watered by tears and coaxed and caressed by the smiles of yesterday. I listened then, but with thirsty ear, for the witching melody of faint bugles blowing reveille, of far drums beating the long roll. In my dreams I hear again the crash of guns, the rattle of musketry, the strange, mournful mutter of the battlefield. But in the evening of my memory I come back to West Point. Always there echoes and re-echoes: duty, honor, country. Today marks my final roll call with you. But I want you to know that when I cross the river, my last conscious thoughts will be of the Corps and the Corps and the Corps. I bid you farewell. Close quote. General Douglas MacArthur.
Magnificent. I'm impressed. I don't know about you.
Well, and you'll be interested to know he gave that thing off the cuff. Didn't take any notes up there with him.
I'll be honest with you, man. I do my best work under pressure. Typically, I'll write some notes down and then leave them in some other room or in my other suit or in the truck or something like that. And then I just have to do it from memory off the cuff, and that's the way it works best for me. I don't advise everyone to try that.
Yeah, I've had a similar experience. I used to do a lot more preparation throughout the day, before it was time to start writing, but I don't really do that anymore. I just sit down and start writing.
I don't write hardly anything, honestly. Years ago, I burned my hand so bad that my handwriting is virtually illegible, and I can't hardly type anymore at all. And so I just do it in my head. That's all I got.
It's probably better that way anyway.
Yeah, no one wants to see the other stuff in my head, I promise.
I had my eyes on the prompter so long, I don't even know what round we're in now. I didn't even give the background on the fight, did I?
Nope. Go for it.
All right. So let me pull up the tape here. So going into this fight, Muhammad Ali is the 33-year-old world heavyweight champion. Wepner is 36. Ali has a record of 45 wins, 2 losses. The 2 losses being to the first Frazier fight and Ken Norton in San Diego in 1971, a fight we have watched on this program before. Wepner comes in with a record of 31-9-2. This is his first ever title fight. And believe it or not, he's got an 8-fight winning streak coming into this thing, including, believe it or not, can you believe this guy beat Ernie Terrell?
Looking at the beating he's currently taking, yes.
I mean, I know that Ernie Terrell is primarily known today for having been publicly humiliated in the ring by Ali because he refused to call him Muhammad Ali and not Cassius Clay. But Ernie Terrell was a solid heavyweight. That dude should not have been losing to Chuck Wepner.
But if you're tough enough to stand there and take everything that man has, how do you lose? This man is beaten. I've been watching this fight while you were reading. This man has taken a consistent beating through this fight. Ali ain't gave him an inch, but those rabbit punches just kept coming.
We didn't get to the so-called knockdown yet, did we?
Mm-mm.
All right, let's run it back.
All right. How far?
No, just No, I mean just hit play again. Yeah. Those big looping punches, man.
Dude, he's hitting him in the top of the head. He's hitting him under the belt. He's just hitting him anything he can reach.
And Ali looks like, are you seeing this, ref?
Yeah, he keeps looking over at the ref and kind of motioning with his gloves. He's like, you saw that, right?
Yeah, and Ali famously didn't do one little tiny bit of training for this fight. Somebody asked him about it, and he said, if I have to train for Chuck Wepner, I might as well retire.
Yeah, but that's Ali, man. I mean,
yeah. Oh, wait, yeah. What else would you expect Ali to say?
Right. I mean, he's got what, 4 inches on him, 60 pounds, 30 pounds. What do you have there?
Let me pull the tail of the tape back up.
I mean, look at this beating he's taken. Look at that. Almost every single one of Ali's punches is connecting, and about 1/3 of Homie's punches are landing, but not solid. They're touching.
Somehow I have a tail of the tape in front of me that has everything in metric. I don't know how I managed that.
Too close to Canada, bro.
But anyway, Wepner has a 5 centimeter height advantage, and Ali has a 2 centimeter reach advantage, and it doesn't even have their weights on here, which seems kind of silly for a tail of the tape.
Okay. I guess Wepner is crouching in his stance. Ali is much more vertical.
Oh.
Yeah, Ali's done with this man. He's fixing to injure this man. That's his plan.
I believe, interestingly, Wepner's last fight before this fight was against Sonny Liston in what wound up being Liston's last ever bout. And he went the distance with him, lost a unanimous decision in this dude's face after that fight. You know that famous picture of Marciano's face after that terrible beating he took from
Yeah.
Just think of that picture. Wepner's face was 10 times worse than that picture after he fought Liston. That's just about as bad as a man's face can look. Didn't have the greatest face to begin with, I grant you, but
yeah, no, it ain't good. It ain't good.
It ain't good.
Fixing. Somebody had to put some ice on that.
And Wepner, when you see the guy in interviews, it's impossible not to like him. And he's been kind of writing this a fictional version of this fight for the last 50 years. If you listen, and of course this is the fight that Sylvester Stallone claimed that he was watching, and it wound up being the inspiration for Rocky. And he kept telling that story for about 30 years, right up until Wepner sued him for $20 million or something like that. And then Stallone started telling a whole different story. Oh no, I came up with that story all on my own. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But if you listen to Wepner or Stallone tell the story, then you would think that this fight is some sort of great display of grit and determination and a scrappy guy standing toe to toe and going the distance with the champion of the world. But then you watch the actual fight and you see something more like, just a guy fighting as dirty as you can.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't get near.
I can't believe this guy didn't get disqualified in the first round after he threw the 20th rabbit punch.
I'm utterly astounded. I mean, you got to admit, he's taking a whooping there.
Oh, yeah. If Wepner had any skill, it was taking a pounding and not falling down. Yeah, when they talk about the difference between a fighter and a brawler, this guy is the difference. This is being a brawler and not a fighter.
Is that coming in really loud?
No, it sounds moderate to me.
Okay. That's about as low as I can actually play it.
All right, I'm just now trying to catch up with the chat, everybody. Bear with me.
Really involved with your own man, young Sanford there.
Well, these are all old matches, so we're not injuring any young boys out here watching this. It ain't nothing like that. And I can understand why Cap would want to go with boxing. It's easier to discuss something you're familiar with and you know, but people really enjoy to see people out of their element. And I would advise him to go for something really wild next time. Just, I don't know. I don't know what you would consider wild. So,
yeah, there's a question to ponder.
Round 6.
I
think this is the round the knockout happens.
Knockdown.
Yeah. I mean, to the extent that you can call stepping on a guy's foot and pushing him down a knockdown.
We're in round 6. Game continues to come on.
He's hitting him in the top of the head, at the back of the head, on his foot.
He literally throws 200 rabbit punches in this fight, and I'm not even exaggerating.
Anytime Ali wants to turn it on, he can do so. Remains, and I'll continue to remind you, Chuck Wepner has never been off his feet. That's not a bad record. He has been many times.
No, Wepner's never been off his feet. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that one. You said he was coming in 8-0, right? Or 8 win streak.
Yeah, 8 fight winning streak.
So everything else was won by. Wait, so he was beaten by decision, not knockout.
I think I have his career record here. Just a moment.
Because I mean, this man, you got to admit, he takes one heck of a beating. I mean, Ali delivers it to his face over and over again.
Oh yeah, and he doesn't abandon his dirty ass game plan. You have to give him that.
Yeah, he certainly came in with a plan and stuck with it. We're gonna cheat. I can respect that.
Yeah, he was on an 8 fight winning streak coming into this, and the only guy in the streak that I've heard of is, like I said before, Ernie Terrell. That fight was exactly 1 year before my birth, 23 June 1973. And the other guys are all guys I've never heard of.
Right.
And his loss to Sonny Liston was all the way back on 29 June 1970. Which I think was just a couple weeks before Liston died.
Right hand again taken on the glove of Ali. Ali and any manner at all. He's landed a couple pretty good punches. Trying to get through with an uppercut. Ali protects with the uppercut.
You know what I found? I found a channel that has collated a whole. Well, it's a particular live stream from like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago of Carl Benjamin talking, I think it's to Viva La Fray, and it shows the process of him coming in with an upbeat attitude and blackpilling his way through the entire thing. It's like a super cut of Carl Benjamin becoming blackpilled.
Sargon, that Carl Benjamin?
Yeah, Sargon.
Okay. Gotcha.
And it's some nobody channel. I have no idea who this dude is. It's like Fruity Ties or something like that. I can't remember, but I saved it and I got it set up. I'm gonna take a look at it online.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his. He's been banhammered just about everywhere you can be banhammered, hasn't he?
Yeah, I back before I became the Caucasian Sasquatch, I might have had a few other profiles or two, you know.
Yeah,
and one of them was early into Carl Benjamin's background. A lot of what I've learned about YouTube, social media, the treatment you get from the powers that be, that type of stuff, I learned on the tail end of the things that were happening to Sargon.
Yeah, and it's probably a pretty good object lesson too.
Yeah. Oh, it taught me that there are certain lines you simply do not cross because you were taking your entire future into your hands on this platform.
Yeah. And even oftentimes when you are saying verifiably true facts about the world.
Yes.
It doesn't make any damn difference.
I've got a saying on my channel, be careful with the truth. They'll block you for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you bet your ass they will.
You can lie all you want. You can lie out both sides of your ears. The worst that happens, you get sued. you get a takedown, something like that.
Oh,
But you go around telling the truth, and they will straight up strike you.
Oh yeah, an establishment-approved lie will get you a hell of a lot farther in life than an unpopular truth ever will.
Yes, sir.
Because guys like Dick Young, Milt Richmond, Will Grimsley, Dave Condon, Red Smith, Dave Anderson,
dude, it's just this is not a boxing match anymore. It's not. This is
no.
This has turned into a backyard street fight between two cousins.
Yeah, and the performance by the referee is just pitiful.
Is coasting now.
The only time the referee seems to get involved is when Wepner gets backed into a corner, which Ali's always backing up, so it only happens twice that I've seen.
Yeah, you know, they get into a clutch, and then he rabbit punches the guy 10 times, and the ref says, "Okay, come on, no more of that." When he probably should have disqualified him in the middle of the first round. Because isn't that like the first instruction they give you in the pre-fight is no rabbit punches, no low blows? Yeah, it's like one of the two things they say, for God's sake.
Right. Good Lord.
Make that 18.5-inch neck of Wepner tired, so when his punches bounce off.
Yeah, I think there is a I think there's a Chuck Wepner movie actually, which I have never seen. I would be interested to watch it though. I think he was played by Liev Schreiber, which sounds kind of interesting.
Swiss Miss says the truth is very dangerous. They are trying to catch up to the book memes of 20 to 39 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're not wrong. I mean, you could straight up look at the modern execution of constitutional law by the police and see a direct correlation between it and Orson Welles. Pick your book, whichever one you want. Oh wow! Ow!
He's just annoyed now.
He just can't get to him. He gets over there.
There's your rabbit punches again.
Let's see if you can see just what's going on in that corner.
But you can kind of see in a way if you're a young actor and screenwriter looking for your big break, you can see watching this fight and thinking, I think I could do something with a fictionalized version of this.
Oh yeah, no joke. I don't see this as an underdog coming out, trying to go the distance or nothing like this. I swear, it looks like a backyard brawl.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a question for you. We're pushing into what, round 7 now? We're in between 7 and 8, and I'm wondering what's going on in this corner right now.
I know you have to wonder what's going on in the corner.
I don't understand. Every time I swing at him, he's not there anymore.
Yeah,
he's 2 inches
by a foot and a half every time. Swing earlier.
Oh. Somebody tell me where he's at. I can't find him.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a very happy young man.
Or is it what round did they tell me to go down?
Yeah, right.
How many rounds have I got? What round is it? Oh my Lord. That man's pummeling me to death.
Meanwhile, in the other corner, Dundee's telling Ollie, "You think maybe you should have trained a little bit?"
Ollie's like, "Can somebody go check my iron? I think I left it on."
And he's standing up in the corner. That's how you know that Ali was annoyed.
Dude, let me tell you, I don't know how much boxing you've done. I haven't done a whole bunch, but the little bit that I did, 1.5 minutes boxing another man is the most strenuous workout I've ever encountered. I have swum, I have canoed, I have hiked, I have marched, it was right up there. No joke. It is right up there with running with the Marines.
Yeah, you bet your ass it is. Every 1 minute somebody's trying to punch you in the face pretty much goes by like an hour.
It's forever, dude. It is forever and ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Atlas Shrugged was not meant to be a playbook, folks.
Yeah, neither was 1984. Neither was Animal Farm.
Actually, I gotta say, Swiss, I prefer memes. It works better with memes.
Don't underestimate the courage of Chuck Wetner.
And then there's I still haven't told the best of all stories about this fight, which is that Mrs. Chuck Wepner was presented by her husband on the morning of the fight with a new sexy blue negligee, and he says to her, "Honey, I want you to put this on for tonight because you're going to be sleeping with the heavyweight champion of the world." And he gets back to the room after he loses, and the wife is sitting there wearing the negligee, and she says, "All right, am I going to Ali's room or is he coming here?" Which is one of the greatest stories in the history of sports.
Dude, that's such a cell phone. That is some trash. I am a dirty mouthed individual, and I will talk an immortal amount of trash right before, but I'm not going to do it if I absolutely know I'm fixing to get the brakes beat off of me.
Well, apparently he thought he could just, rabbit punch him 100 times and have him fall over unconscious and the ref wouldn't notice. And if that doesn't work, then step on his foot and shove him down, right?
Well, I mean, maybe a couple of horseshoes in the gloves might have helped.
Yes.
And the horse.
And the horse.
And the horse.
Put any part of the horse in there you want.
I don't think it would matter, though. I mean, this ain't exactly I don't know. Ali ain't exactly in his peak physical condition. Like, he did no training for this. He went and ate cheeseburgers and ran around with hookers. That was his training.
He did literally no training, and he told people that. He went around bragging about it.
Okay, he's Ali, and I keep falling back on that statement. It's Ali. What do you expect?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
if they had CompuBox back then, can you imagine? Look at those misses, man. You could almost knock him over from the wind coming off your fist.
James, what can you see there?
Man, oh man! I did a parody rap for Astronaut in the Ocean, and I have yet to decide to actually try to record it because I'm not a rapper.
Yeah, that makes two of us. You're braver than me.
I wrote it. I mean, it's there. I've done it. If I can find somebody willing to do it.
Speaking of parody songs, I have kind of a problem.
Yeah.
I told people I was going to do Hotel California just because I like the title so well. But the thing I didn't consider before I said that,
it's a 17.
I hate the fucking Eagles, and I hate that fucking song. And it makes it more difficult to write parody lyrics for a song you hate. Because the other 4 songs I've done, I love all those songs. So that that's a couple of them were kind of tough nuts to crack, but I wouldn't call any of them difficult. I sat down and started trying to do this one, and I just get overcome with how much I hate the fucking Eagles. And I have to stop.
Also, it is Kamala Harris, so you're just overcome to start with.
It's true. You raise a fair point. You're absolutely right, Swiss Miss. That is a very, very shameful display indeed.
Oh, baby. But it's worked.
Wait till you see the knockdown.
But up to this point, obviously, this style of fighting has worked for him.
Yeah, I mean, for reasons that can't be imagined, it has. Because
dude, that clutch lasted 27 seconds or so. The referee didn't say nothing the whole time. He's punching him in the ribs, punching him in the side of the head, punching him in the arms. Ref ain't said nothing. Ali pops him one good time in the ear. Referee's like, break it up.
Yeah. Honestly, I have no idea how Tony Perez ever got to the level of refereeing championship fights, because every fight I have seen him work, he just comes off like a complete buffoon.
Swiss Miss, you naughty girl.
I mean, this guy gets to age 36 and nobody has ever, maybe throw that punch a little straight and not. from the side. A big looping jab doesn't work all that well usually, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not a jab anymore.
There it is.
Yep, let's back that up.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll replay it, but damn it. That's the downside of having a little window. I don't have a whole lot of spatial control over where it's at.
Ali was only knocked down 3 times in his career, and that was number 3 right there, if you want to call that a knockdown.
And see him elbow him right in the freaking eyeball, dude. Like he freaking atomic elbowed him across his chin. Ref ain't say nothing. It's like break it up. I can't believe you found an Ali match I hadn't seen.
I know. I'm delighted that I did.
Here we go.
And a fight that's famous for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Well, I'd heard about it. I don't guess I've ever watched it.
Yeah, and the only reason it's famous
right there.
is because,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he stepped on his shoelaces or something.
Yeah, and when they show the replay, you can see him step directly on his stinking foot. And all he's saying, you're really going to call that? You're giving me the standing 8? Are you kidding me? Yeah, it was like a combination of step on the foot and kind of nudge him in the chest with his glove, and down he goes. Come on, show the replay.
They will. They're going to the end of the round first. They'll show it between. I bet you.
Yeah, that's what you get with 1970s television.
Yeah, you kind of had to go balls deep when you had it.
Yeah, takes them 2 or 3 minutes to get the replay queued up. Yeah, now Ali's throwing Wepner punches now.
Oh, Ali's mad. That elbow to his face made him mad. I seen it happen.
Yep. And he was already pissed off about the rabbit punches.
He just grabbed Ali by the back of the neck and hit him twice in his face. You see that shit? Yeah. You know, my brother fights like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what this is, closer to a brother versus brother brawl than it is a professional boxing match.
I keep waiting for him to throw salt in his eyes and like kick him in the shin.
Yeah. It's almost as shambolic as that.
Yeah, right
Look
there.
at that. Look at that.
He just straight shoved him over.
Yeah. He just nudged him in the chest, and then he kind of trips over his own feet.
Watch his feet. Watch his feet. He reaches over, steps on his toe, shoves him, and then hooks the other foot.
Right there. He takes the left foot.
He just couldn't get his foot back fast enough to catch himself. He was balanced equally on both feet, just got pushed over.
And now, ever since that moment, Chuck Wepner gets to say, "I am one of 3 men who knocked down Muhammad Ali."
Hey, I'd have that tattooed on my back, man.
Henry Cooper got a knighthood out of it. We watched that fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, he took a whooping though. He took it though. Oh, he deserved a knighthood after that. He got
that Henry Cooper knockout. That was as clean as a knockout gets.
Yeah,
knockdown. I'm sorry. And then the other knockdown, of course, was in the first Frazier fight in the second to last round, which was also
look here. Homie's hugging him like he's going to go out on a date with him, but the whole time he's in there, left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook, and you've got Ali pointing at the referee, going, "Do you see this? Do you see this?"
Swiss Miss, tell me the weight class of the boxer you dated.
Ali is much more serious. You can see that determination in his eye. The determination you see when he's fighting somebody that he thinks he's got a problem with. A good right hand right on that bad eye of Wepner by Ali. Ali is trying to end the thing. It's just Wepner right on the button, staggering him to the side, but Wepner stays on his feet. Now Wepner hangs on.
The guy punches like he's got concrete in his gloves. It's like slow motion.
Well, he's tired now, man.
Yeah.
Dog tired, boss.
Oh yeah, he can barely swing.
He's a tired human being, but he continues to come on to Ali. Does not have.
He's still got his gloves up, though. He's still a contender. But at this point, he'd have to get really, 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 really lucky.
But it causes you to wonder how does a guy get to age 36 and win 30 out of 40 fights and have his basic technique be this deficient still? Look at those punches.
That's a middleweight, ain't it? 190 pounds, 6'2".
Believe so, yeah. Or maybe cruiserweight.
Yeah, maybe cruiserweight.
Yeah.
The worst whooping I ever took in a boxing ring was from a lightweight.
I believe it.
That man beat me unmercifully for a solid 5 minutes. I couldn't catch him, and it went the full 5 minutes. But let me tell you, that last minute and a half or so, he done run out of steam and started slowing down, and I started landing punches. If it had went 6 minutes, I believe I could have knocked him out.
That was actually the quickest punch he's thrown. That was that looping overhand right he just missed on. That's the first time I've seen his fist actually move like a professional. And they just chucked that water on him after the end of each round. Wake up, Chuck.
Well, Ali finally sat down.
Yep.
He just wanted something to drink, though. Mouth's getting a little dry, all that breathing out there. All them whiffs that man throwing at him just got him parched.
I wish we could hear what Angelo's saying to him, because he's getting the talking to.
Right? They're probably just, wait, which one? Hold on. Which one? You're talking Ali's corner?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what's going on in Ali's corner. Ali is ordering his meal for after the fight. He wants some steak, a little bit of broccoli and cheese. He wants some of that cauliflower they got down there. Get me some fries. Hold on, I'll be in there in a second, Coach. We need some baked potatoes, and make sure the guy brings the stretch around and has the AC already running.
That's what he was telling Bundini right there. He was expecting this fight to be over by the second round, so he's got a couple of girls waiting in his room already.
Yeah, right.
So he's got to tell Bundini, tell the girls not to leave. I'm going to be right there. I swear to God, this is just taking a little bit longer than I thought.
Do not let them leave. I'm not losing this fight. They will. Yep.
Do not let them leave. I've been looking forward to this.
I've been training all week for this.
Yes.
Not the fight, but the after.
I've been training for those girls, but not necessarily this Chuck Wepner, son of a bitch.
Hey, bud, you ever seen an 85 Eldorado?
Who hasn't?
Back seat you could land a jumbo jet in.
Oh, shit, yeah?
Ooh. Ooh, bip.
Yeah, I'm old enough that at my high school, shit.
He just hit Ali.
Half of the cars in the parking lot were Eldorados.
I've seen 3 elbows thrown in the clutch so far.
Oh yeah, he does all kinds of dirty stuff in the clutch. There's no clutch that happens that he doesn't rabbit punch or elbow, or I'm surprised he doesn't knee him in the dick.
I know. I've totally been waiting for him to kick him in the shin and run away.
Mm-hmm. But still, he lands a surprisingly sparse number of good punches throughout this whole fight. Somehow, even though this guy has no reflexes, he's basically just a. You could pull a guy out of your local watering hole and get a fight pretty much similar to this, and he still can't land a clean blow seemingly.
Yeah, no, I mean. This guy not
that Ali ever was a sledgehammer type puncher, but still he should be able to knock this guy out in a couple rounds. But then we wouldn't have Rocky, would we?
According to Stallone,
According to Stallone, until he got sued.
Yeah. $20 million will definitely shut you up on some stuff.
Chuck Wepner was the inspiration for Rocky right up until Stallone got sued by Wepner. That's just the way life goes sometimes.
Right hand that's there's a real crisp right hand and left. There's a combination of punches now.
Give me some water right now.
Meanwhile, it's just such a whooping, though.
Watch this final combination as we see it coming up here. James Ali
looks kind of winded.
Well, I mean, he's been hitting that guy a lot, you know.
Yeah, it's probably just tired from throwing too many punches.
Wepner desperately tries to get back. Does kind of get one behind the ear, but there's a shot up underneath the rib cage.
Yes, he did right, Rocky. And the way the story goes, or the way he told it up until he got sued, was that he watched this fight on TV and was so inspired by this schlubby underdog going the distance with the champion of the world that he immediately sat down and wrote the script for Rocky. And I think legend has it that he wrote it in just a matter of a few days.
A lot of times when people who don't typically do a given skill apply themselves to that skill, that's how it happens. Sometimes it's called beginner's luck, but I don't believe that's what it is. It's someone doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. And I have a hard time believing that he didn't at least have the nucleus of the idea in his head already. Maybe he watched this fight and it caused the whole thing to coalesce in his brain, but I have a difficult time believing that it was just, that he happened to sit down and watch this fight and then the thing came out fully formed by the end of the weekend. That's a bridge too far for me, I think. But it makes a good story.
It's definitely a good story. I mean, Rocky, even today, which is a rare thing for a movie of that era, you can walk into virtually any house in America, pop in Rocky 1, and most people will not complain. They'll just sit and watch it.
Yeah, or Rocky 2 also.
Yeah. But then again, you got to admit, those two movies could easily have been edited into one.
And that's probably what would happen in the current day. It would probably get turned into a 6-episode streaming series.
Probably.
And it would suck in all likelihood.
And Stallone would wear a dress and be played by Ronda Rousey.
Exactly. We would have to have lots of inclusivity and diversity and inclusion and badass girl bosses who don't need no man for nothing.
Right. Well, see, that's the only way Rocky would win nowadays is if he was some kind of diversity hire.
Yeah. Yeah, you could never have the white man get the better of the black man at the end. That just wouldn't do.
Not even if it's reality.
Not even if it's reality. Because we just don't allow things like that. It's racist to have a white man win, don't you know?
Even if he's the best?
Yes.
Or especially if he's the best.
Especially if he's the best. Because it might perpetuate negative stereotypes. It's the same reason we can no longer show mugshots of criminal suspects. Well, we would have showed you this mugshot, but we don't want to perpetuate negative stereotypes. So we're just going to let this guy go rape a bunch of other women.
Yeah, you've seen Maverick, haven't you?
Yeah, a couple times.
All right. You know, in Maverick, there's that white dude with the blue eyes that is just so damn schmarmy. He's the schmarmiest person on earth. You know who I'm talking about? What's his call sign? He takes Iceman's place.
Yeah, I know. I cannot. Oh, it's anyway. Shit. It's right on the tip of my tongue. But keep going. I'll think of it eventually.
I watched that whole movie, and then the very second, I have not done this with a movie in years, but the second it ended, I sat there for a second, and then I turned it back on and watched it again because I felt like I had missed something. And The thing that I missed the first time through was why everyone really, really, really wants to hate that man, and yet you can't. You cannot hate him. You can dislike him. You can disagree with his reasoning, his concepts, and everything. The fact of the matter is, he's just that damn good.
Yep.
He's not being conceited. He's not being, you know what I mean? He's not pandering or nothing like that. It's just he's that good, and he knows it.
And being that damn good earns one a certain amount of leeway.
Right, which means, given the plot of the movie, he's one of the 6 or 10 best pilots in the entire world.
Yep.
The best of the best is the tag phrase for a reason. And this man was number 1 out of a group of 10. So he's that damn good. So as schmarmy and as conceited and as just downright wrong as he is on a courtesy level, you can't dislike him, and he's not wrong.
Yeah, and that's where you get all the narrative complexity of the whole thing, is that he's a dick and he's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean he's
and
not
he's that damn good.
Right, he's not a dick because he is that damn good. When Maverick says we can do it, he says okay, and tries his best. You know?
Yep.
Tries really, really hard. Okay. Well, he says we can do it, then we can do it, and he tries harder.
And I still really like the way they handled Val Kilmer's appearance in that picture. They did that in a very classy and very emotionally affecting way, and I think they achieved it really well.
Knowing that would probably be his last role, his last appearance on film.
Yeah. Yep. And it was powerful, and it was dignified, and
it's beautiful.
Beautiful, and handled in just the exact right way, tonally and narratively, and it's right in the exact spot in the movie where it should be, and just perfect.
Yeah.
I remember a fight a few years ago when Oscar Bonavena fought Ali, a very similar fight, and then dropped
Good
in the 15th
God.
round.
Smith, if you're looking to dive back into the Rocky series, I would recommend starting with Rocky Balboa. Because that's usually the way it goes, the order it goes in for me lately. When I dive back into that series, I almost always start with Rocky Balboa and then go back to the start of the series. I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, that Rocky Balboa gets better as a movie each time I watch it. I think that was for as badly as they had left the series with Rocky V. They rehabilitated it that much with the next one, and it was a great achievement, obviously, and it wound up giving birth to the whole Creed franchise, for better or worse.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Creed 3?
Not yet.
Yeah, I think I'm still not quite sure how I feel about that one.
Tell you what we can do at some point. We'll watch that one together, because I am up to speed up to Creed 2. Like, having recently watched all of it, everything from start to finish, from Rocky 1 all the way through.
Creed 2 I very much enjoyed.
It has a lot of the flavors of Rocky's 2. Not so much Rocky 1, but a lot of the gear and machismo from Rocky 2.
Yeah. And I thought they handled it well. The reintroduction of Ivan Drago and his kid, and both of those characters had understandable motivations, which always contributes to the quality of the narrative.
Sure. I don't have any particular complaint about the story at all.
Yeah.
The plot behind everything, it's a little smoky coming, the idea of going to finding Creed's kid boxing and going and looking and finding Drago's kid is boxing too.
Yeah.
That's if the chances of such things happening are fairly slim, but at the same time, it's more likely in boxing families.
But it's a thing that real life boxing promoters, if they had a chance to do it, they absolutely would do it.
Absolutely. They kidnapped that kid. They'd send him.
Shit! Yeah, are you kidding me? Dump him in the trunk and put him on the plane and
roofing all his butt. Send in some some Vice reporters or whatever. It's not Vice anymore. What is it now? That's doing it. The one that's got all the beautiful women on the payroll. Everybody's spilling their guts too. What? Who is that?
Andrew Tate?
Nah, the other guy. No.
Sorry, couldn't help it.
I was pretty low, dude. That's a stable, not a payroll.
Okay, gotcha.
No, that Veritas, Project Veritas has got a whole bunch of 10s on their payroll, both straight, gay, male, feminine, and babies, all of it. And it ain't every 2 or 3 months you got.
Because I would think they need a pretty wide variety of people with all the undercover stuff they do.
Yeah.
You need people from lots of different types of demographics to be able to infiltrate bad organizations and expose them for their malfeasance. So yeah, I would think having a lot of pretty women on the payroll probably doesn't hurt.
It don't hurt a bit.
Yeah.
Dude, I worked at a window factory, and this has nothing to do with pretty women. But let me tell you what happened when this very, very beautiful lady decided she wanted to come be the receptionist. And she was qualified, overqualified even, but she lived like a block away from the factory and she wanted to be a receptionist. And so she came in, she put in her application. The lady who had been volunteering was like, great, I can go bake cookies, and suddenly business went up 30%. Like,
how about
in
that?
The next 6 days. Within 6 days, there was a 30% increase of business, and you could not keep people out of that freaking office.
It reminds me of that point I was making a couple of videos ago about how the Bidens don't even bother pretending to be engaged in any sort of upstanding business activity like most gangsters and racketeers do. So that when the cops show up one day, you say, "Hey, I'm just a guy who runs a little restaurant that happens to have a 19,000% profit margin. Why are you hassling me? We make really good food. What do you want?"
I don't remember the movie. It was, but there was this Greek guy who had set up an Italian restaurant in like a Hell's Kitchen or something. And as a byproduct of being the closest quote unquote Italian restaurant, the mafioso started showing up there, not realizing it was run by somebody they didn't know. And it became one of the like local mafioso hangouts and ended up catching all the protection and never paying for the racket until they realized, wait, you're not Italian?
Uh-oh.
And I got to give them credit, at least in the movie. And this wasn't the main plot of the movie. This was like just a background plot that I noticed because I'm a moron and I pay attention to stupid stuff like that. But it was like the very next scene, there's some young Italian dude walking in and it changed from Ralphos to Ralphio's.
See, there you go. Problem solved.
Problem solved. My nephew always wanted it. The funny thing was, all the same people still work there. The freaking mob is serious, man.
So now we're in the last round, and Ali's trying to pay attention. Like maybe I'll be less embarrassed if I can put this guy on his ass in the last round.
Well, I just don't believe that if Ali beat him with a stick right now, he could knock him out. That man's on more adrenaline and atropine than you could possibly imagine. They probably didn't hit him 3 times in the heart.
Look, he's covering up against the rabbit punches because he knows they're coming. Each time they get into a clutch.
It's starting to get a little sore back there.
When a guy's defending himself against rabbit punches, do you think maybe the referee's doing a bad job?
Horrible.
Just dreadful.
Hey, I want you to look for the most crooked fight you've ever found. The crookedest ever in history. I want you to find that.
That's an interesting challenge.
I'd have to go find. I know I got a fight in mind, but I can't remember who it is. I'd have to go looking for it. It's the one where the dude had the plaster of Paris injected into his gloves.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of before, but I couldn't. I can't remember the name. I think it was middleweights. I think it was in the 1950s, and it's a legendary incident, but I can't remember the name of either guy for the life of me. At least not right here off the top of my head.
That was one of those that was on the reel to reel that my coach brought us in and was showing us, and he walked out and he told everybody, he's like, I want you to watch this fight, and at the end we're going to talk about whether or not anything was wrong with the fight. And it is absolutely blatantly obvious through the whole thing that man has a handful of quarters in each hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have seen oh, down goes Chuck.
Yeah. He's like, man, I'm so done. I'm done. He almost looks relieved.
Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the first and only time he was ever knocked down in his entire career, which is impressive. Yeah, I mean, he may never have been a pugilistic stylist, but you have to give him toughness points for only getting knocked down one time ever, and it was by Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, you can't cut a man for being knocked down by Muhammad Ali.
No.
You could make the argument that it happened to much better boxers.
Yep. And there was one legitimate knockdown in this fight, and it was that one.
Everybody is yelling, leave him alone. Trying to get Muhammad Ali.
And Ali's still telling Bundini, the girls didn't leave, did they? Tell them not to leave. I just need to take a shower real quick.
No, they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him. Don't you dare take a shower before you come back here.
Oh.
Heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali.
Good Lord.
I think I kind of want to watch that Chuck Wepner movie.
All right.
Let's do you want to do I think I'm just going to leave the videos on your side. I'm going to send you the link to Battle of the Network Stars, shall I?
I'll do it. I'll do the thing to the thing.
I like this better. All right, private chat.
Hey, think about it this way. If you wanted me to, I could run the media and you could do your whole little soliloquy thing by yourself. And you wouldn't
Doesn't that sound tantalizing?
Yeah, I mean, it'll work. I've done it before. That one. Then here. Nope. This. You want sound with it?
Yeah, let's have low level sound like the last one. I believe this is the last one with Robert Conrad in it, so that's probably where my caring about these things ends.
The 3 television networks. Headlines reveal that the ratings war has reached an unprecedented level. The alternative now is combat.
I don't know why I love these shows so much, but I just do.
The network must alert their captains. The forces must be ready. It is time.
Now, I believe I have seen this one once before.
I never thought it would come to this.
But it has been many moons.
Thanks, Swiss Miss. We promise not to think about you showering.
Too late.
Too late.
Ahead of you.
Ooh, red phone in the drawer.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Walker, Captain CBS.
Walker?
Jimmy is Captain JJ of the SS Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Smooth it.
Captain Walker checks his personnel on the Starscope.
How great is this?
Classy, beautiful lady, the femme fatale from Maud. Valerie Bertinelli,
Get it.
one day at a time.
Ooh, a young Valerie Bertinelli.
Kojak, a
Miss,
real
that's the
tough
Mr. Radar right next to the
James
Mr.
Barr,
Coffee.
Corporal Klinger from MASH, a very tricky cat. James MacArthur, McGarrett's sidekick from Hawaii 5-0. This dude knows the ropes. Loretta Swit, oh, hot lips from MASH. She'll come through.
Loretta Swit, baby.
Man.
Lyle Wagner from the New Adventures of Wonder
Yeah.
Woman.
Lyle Wagner, discount Robert Conrad.
I was looking through some old gym ads from like the mid 70s, late 70s, early 80s, and gyms back then were just different. Totally different. There weren't no bubble-butted girls running around in tight pants. They barely wore it. They were wearing freaking leotards, dude. Bikinis out there in the gym.
Dan Haggerty.
Yes, sir. Haggerty,
Hey,
Of course, that was during the
Adams
Cocaine
guy.
Cowboy era too.
mobilize our personnel and move on Pepperdine.
I wonder if they're going to have him wrestling a bear in this one. I liked that last time.
Oh, it's going to be a panther this time.
And here they are. Robert Conrad.
Yeah!
He's a real go-for-it guy. Eleanor Donahue.
Robert Conrad is a living god, even though he's dead.
Patrick Duffy. Man from Atlanta.
that is
Now, Patrick Duffy was still the man from Atlantis. That means Dallas hadn't started yet?
Donna Mills.
Wow, how about that?
She is beautiful.
77.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the year Dallas started, so I guess he
I was
was
going
still
to
the
say
man
it
from
just
Atlantis.
started, but it wasn't big yet.
He's a real
Yeah.
My alternates, Lance Kerwin from James at 15, young and determined.
Remember how dumb he used to look swimming underwater in that show? God, that must have been embarrassing.
Nah, dude, you got to remember, this is the era of Cocaine Cowboys. He wasn't embarrassed. He was the man.
It's true.
And finally,
There's no amount of embarrassment that can't be cured by cocaine consumption.
Amen, brother.
Your people ready. It's up to you now.
Well, you can count on me, sir.
Welcome back.
Mhm. I can't believe how much effort they put into this intro piece. Oh, it's rerun. Reruns on the case, baby. Oh, I didn't know that.
We got it handled.
Business just picked up.
Surprise. Aha, Chris DeRose, boy chick on the San Pedro beach bums. He's a former.
Okay, so if we don't get any writers or directors or actors in Hollywood soon, we're going to end up with some more Battles of the Network stars, bro.
You're damn right we are, and it'll probably be better than the programming they've been doing lately.
I'm actually not too upset with the most recent programming. It's gotten rid of all of the late night supposed comedians who aren't funny with an entire room of writers.
Getting rid of late night TV comedy is an upgrade by itself.
Amen, brother. I
mean, as much as I miss Steve Colbert and his dancing syringes,
Sharp and competitive.
Dude, don't. I was
And yeah,
happy you mentioned that.
he is Steve Colbert. I refuse to call him Stephen Colbert. Just because I like being a dick.
He earned it.
He did earn it. The dancing syringes damn well earned it. You know, don't turn your late night comedy show into political hackery if you don't want me to mock you.
Right? Oh, bro. We used to watch him back when he was doing the Colbert Show. And there used to be these arguments that would happen in the room about whether it's satire or legitimate or whatever. It was satire. It was clearly satire the whole time, right?
Well, of course.
But at the same time, because it was actually satire, it was actually funny.
Yep.
When he swapped over to do that full-on left-wing thing, which he was already doing, just ironically, you know.
Yeah.
When it became his legitimate shtick, he lost all of his credibility as a comedian because suddenly it wasn't funny. You're
Exactly.
serious. You're not joking.
Because when you're doing a good-natured satire of a conservative commentator, then people all across the spectrum can find a reason to laugh at that. But when you just become a partisan hack, then you're just a partisan hack, and there's nothing funny about being a partisan hack.
Exactly. I'm not saying I wouldn't become a partisan hack for enough money. Just write the check and put enough zeros on it, and you'll get a Caucasian Sasquatch that's straight down the line. But it's going to. I don't sell out cheap. I don't sell out cheap. I will gladly sell out. It is the most American thing you can possibly do. Just don't do it cheap.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell. Glad to
Howard Cosell.
Business just picked up. Howard fucking Cosell in the house, baby.
You know, he just slugged an entire bottle of Jim Beam right in the middle of the summer.
And so did Telly Savalas.
Yeah, they split it. Shooting shots between shakes.
I shook hands with Telly Savalas at a Charger game once.
You still haven't washed it. It's still greasy.
Washed it.
It's still oily.
I didn't wash it all the way up until I shook hands with Pappy Boyington.
That's evil, dude. I got you. A little bit of sanitizer goes a long way then.
For CBS, NBC, and ABC. The events are number 1, swimming, rowing.
Yep, let's have lots of events where we have the female celebrities in wet swimsuits.
Damn right.
Although obviously we don't have Linda Carter on a trampoline, which is a tragedy in itself.
That's I'm sorry, you're losing a star for that one. That's certainly 4 stars.
Hey, Bruce Jenner.
Well, you know, in that case, there is at least one beautiful woman on here.
The world's greatest female athlete. He just didn't know it yet.
And that's where I open my Bud Light and put on my tutu.
Oh, wouldn't that be perfect?
Yeah, I had somebody offer me money to do one of my streams in a full-on tutu standing up. I was like, dude, you got my Cash App. We could talk about this, but we're going to be very specific as to the conditions.
Yeah, tell me how many zeros are on the check, and maybe we'll talk about it.
Well, depending on how many zeros, we might talk about it. You put enough of them down there, and we can.
Robert Conrad in the pool, I might swoon.
I did.
The individual competitors are selected.
You can have Suzanne Summers. Give me wet Robert Conrad any day.
The swimming competition.
Wow.
Leading off for ABC, Suzanne Summers.
Ooh, yeah, let's get her in the pool immediately.
And for CBS, Wagner of Wonder.
Oh. Did we do that at the same time?
I believe we did. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Checks in the mail, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a second swimmer for ABC.
Yeah, I don't want to see that dude in a Speedo.
You're going to.
But I guess it's too late.
That was back before the crack got the best ever.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got Grizzly Adams in a Speedo, but you always wanted to see that.
Hey, man, I might swoon on that one.
Seriously. Yeah, I believe he's in your same species, isn't he?
Close. I think he's closer to bear, though.
Yeah. The Sasquatch and the Grizzly are kind of... There we go, Pappy Boyington in the house.
There he is.
Robert Conrad, ladies and gentlemen. I am Howard Cosell, self-respecting sports journalist, and I am covering Robert Conrad in a Speedo, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, Valerie Bertinelli. I will look at young Valerie Bertinelli all day, frankly.
Yeah, I have no issues with this myself.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I used to have her poster on my wall.
I believe I did have my poster on her wall, or her poster on my wall.
Who
knows? Maybe my poster was on her wall too. Yeah, I can do without that. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. There you go. Good God. He looks like he's wearing a sweater.
That dude's gonna clog up the pool drain with his body hair.
He looks like he's covered in mosquitoes.
I know. Looks like freaking Joe Biden's shoulders.
He looks like he's got a bee beard.
Lane 2, Pat Duffy in lane 3. Dodge
I
critically.
still liked it better when he wrestled the bear.
And they're off. By Lyle Wagner. Powerful stroke. Swimming for
So
CBS.
does Grizzly Adams get a head start for all the resistance that his body hair causes?
No, but it's more like a spider. He just crawls across the top.
Yeah, there you go.
With Adrian Barbeau out front in the middle lane.
And the man floofy too. Did you see him before he jumped in?
Yeah.
He looked like a chia pet.
do we have both genders competing against each other here?
Yes.
Oh, I believe we
I
do.
think it was. I think they have a man and a woman on each team.
How progressive
Yeah,
this is for
before.
1977.
But is it really? Really though?
Well, if we really wanted it to be progressive, then the men would be wearing women's swimsuits, I guess.
And the women would be. Ooh, wait a second. We might have something here. Hold on.
Yeah, I think we might have something here.
We give the men women's swimsuit and the women men's swimsuit, then you'll have a 5-star production immediately.
Ratings will be through the roof, I tell you.
Through the roof, bro. We just dispense with the entire speed portion of it and go with style, form, and
That would get even more views than Hunter Biden's Cocaine Blues.
Oh,
Maybe.
reach pretty high.
It's a hard standard to reach, I grant you, but maybe there's a chance is all I'm saying.
I got to be honest with you, dude. It about had to be that title. I mean, it's a good song. I dig it. But boy, oh boy, that was a beautiful title. I knew it was going to skyrocket the second I saw it. I giggled maniacally and hadn't even heard the song.
The current view count, if anyone's curious, 81,594.
Yeah, you're flipping them now. No, now, Swiss Miss. I'm going to get you in to negotiate the deal, and we'll decide on the size, color, and arrangement of the tutu. But I'm gonna tell you something. If somebody's dumb enough to send me money to do a live stream in a tutu, they might well get it in a full wetsuit wearing a tutu. With the goggles and the tanks and everything. Like,
Yep. I want goggles. I think no goggles is going to be a deal breaker on that.
yeah.
I was just thinking about getting that 3rd place.
Did you ever swim varsity at Princeton?
I've never swum. That's the first race I've ever been in.
Go back. They need you. For old Nassau. Congratulations.
Thank you.
God, I just can't imagine how much Howard had to drink on the days they made him do this.
This is like a.
Of course, Parker Stevenson.
I just picture him outside in his car with a funnel.
Oh, I know. Just keep drinking until the
Savalas
self-respect comes back.
Telly Savalas and Bruce Jenner mixing Mai Tais in his mouth. I have a very visual sense of humor. Like, can you imagine what was going on with Valerie Bertinelli and Bruce Jenner backstage? What was she, 14?
Yeah, and how confused must she be today?
Suzanne Summer.
Today she goes, wait, did I have a lesbian experience and I didn't realize it?
Oh, no, that's not a question. Of course it was a lesbian experience. She was with a woman, a manly, strapping haired.
And that is how the rules work. That's how they are always telling us the rules work. When you announce that you are swapping out your gender, it means that your former self ceases to exist, and you were always that, just as they have done with the actress Ellen Page. They've even changed the credits for her movies to yeah. Then so in the I know I always go back to this example, but it's a good example to go back to. In the movie Super, back when she was the actress Ellen Page, there's a scene where her character, who is female, who has a vagina, forcibly has sex with Rainn Wilson's character, who is a man who has a penis. So according to the present day strictures of the
Male on male
transgender
violence.
movement, we have to view that as female on female rape now, and that just confuses the hell out of me. I'm not sure what to make of it. I don't even know how to look at that movie anymore.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm a little distracted.
I can see why.
Good.
Is that Adrienne Barbeau?
I think.
Yeah, who cares?
I don't.
Yep.
Yep.
Linda Carter on the trampoline, but I'll take it.
Oh, this is nice.
Yep.
This
Let's
is.
let's have more running.
They may have just gotten a star back. Might be back to start. That's pretty good.
You open up with wet swimsuits and you transition to this. I wish television was still like this. If television was still like this, I would still have a cable subscription, frankly.
I do, unfortunately. Oh, wow. I just spilt my Dr. Pepper.
Uh-oh.
Lovely. I don't allow anything liquid on my desk but alcohol. Right? The bodies between then and now. That's what I was saying earlier, is I was watching some old like Gold's Gym commercials and stuff from like the early 80s and some other gyms I can't remember the names of. And the whole genre of workouts was different. The outfits were different, the intentions, the equipment. When women went to the gym back then, they went to the gym and you would find them over there running on the treadmill, riding their exercise bike, that kind of stuff. Now you see them over here doing weight training, trying to
I know, they're doing curls and yeah.
Which I have no problem with. That's fine. I'm all for building a beautiful woman.
Sure, but that it didn't used to be the primary goal of female workouting. Rerun's got trouble, folks. Rerun might drown in the little rope pit. But yeah, it is interesting how quickly and profoundly that standards of physical beauty change, even across one's own lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've always been a bit of a chubby chaser. Ice Age mammal and all. I like them big.
Yeah. Women didn't used to want to have muscle definition.
Okay.
Oh, I like this.
Tell you what I used to do.
Hey, it's Bruce Jenner who doesn't know he's a woman yet.
Right. Or maybe he does and just hasn't come out.
So does this count as female representation then? Bruce Jenner, you are the world's greatest male athlete. And in 50 years, you're going to be a woman.
I say you leave that woman alone. Because she will straight beat you like a redheaded stepchild.
How do you get to age 67 and decide that you've always been a woman trapped in a man's body, especially when you have spent, 40 years being described pretty much unanimously as the world's greatest male athlete? But your whole claim to fame is being the world's greatest male athlete, and you decide to become a chick. One can't help being fascinated, wondering how exactly that happens, how you get from point A to point B on that.
The psychology of it is a bit flummoxing in my opinion. I have no idea how to go from point A to point B on that. But that being said, I've met a few transgender people that are legitimately fully adult and grown, and apparently from the exterior randomly on a Tuesday, they decided to go do all this stuff, and they present. That's one of the major things with me. I don't care what you call yourself. I'll go with it, provided you're at least making an effort. if you've got a better beard than I do, I'm gonna have trouble with the pronouns, man. It's nothing personal.
Yeah, seriously. And you've got a much better beard than me, so I got the same problem. Yeah, poor self-esteem and surrounded by Kardashians probably sums it up pretty well, I think.
Let's get the interview.
Contributed to success over the past few years and your consistency.
Fear.
Fear.
That was a hard-hitting interview.
She was in the football competition in the last such show we did, proving herself. She had never played football before. Stark terror.
She had never played football before.
Never played football.
Never played football before.
victory in the football event.
The football event. I got to work on my Harvey Keitel. My heart is shit.
We're about ready for the start. Penny
I've
Marshall.
been doing Howard Cosell since I was 10 years old.
Very good start. Leads Penny Marshall. Going into the
Hey, I used to
remember riding on school field trips in the 7th and 8th grade doing Howard Cosell voiceovers the whole way down, entertaining all the people on the bus the entire time, ladies and gentlemen.
Marshall all the way. Belinda first going over the barrier. Penny Marshall, an easy winner.
I found out a funny story the other day.
Mother of the year.
Tell us.
Two of the greatest, and the name escapes me. Who's the Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy? What's his name?
Oh, Michael Buffer.
Michael Buffer did not know he had a brother until they were both named the top two announcers in the world. When he looks over and sees this other dude, his last name's Buffer too, of course. But they're both number one and number two, and they were raised in separate households with no knowledge of each other. Just happened to share a father. Which makes sense if you consider how voices go.
Is that a fact? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that until like a couple days ago. I come across it at a YouTube short or something, and then I went and checked it out. And no joke, it was after they received the awards that they went back to their families and was like, "It's really strange. This guy looks a lot like me. We sound alike." Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, he's your brother. Wow, half brother or something like that. And you start off by saying, well, what's the chances? But actually, if you think about it, I mean, they got it from the same source. I bet you go look at that guy's dad, and he's got a sultry sound like Sam Elliott's been gargling rocks all night.
Or Gavin Newsom.
It hurt.
The agony of victory.
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh, Howard,
The agony of defeat.
Adrian Barbeau. She's
Adrian Barbeau.
She knows she lost. Bruce in slow motion.
I'll watch her run in slow motion. That's fine.
Here, she completely missed the rope.
More, please.
Goes right through it. But actually, it's her left foot that she injures. As she tries to regain her balance here, she puts her left foot down on the ground. She twists that ankle. And it seems like it's swelling up quite a bit, so we're going to have a lot of problems. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I'll rub it.
Rating analysis.
She just needs a little Sasquatch rubbing. That's all. Should be fine.
I think so.
Mhm.
And there's your leg right there.
There's my leg.
Oh, Michelle Phillip. Yeah, she was a handsome young woman. Yep.
Michelle Phillips. The agony of victory.
The agony of victory. You tell
Billy
us.
Crystal.
Billy Crystal.
And the
Look at that
peak of
outfit.
performance. Oh my
How
Lord.
many times have you gone out in public in a seafoam green tank top, Squatch?
Maybe a few too many times. I'm not gonna lie. I do frequent the beach quite a bit. I'm a bit of a beach squatch myself.
He's got gloves on. This man means business.
Oh,
Oh, that's gonna leave a mark.
you know it is. Oh, and he's caught up with him. Woo.
Yeah, he might overtake him here.
Nah.
Oh, maybe not. Nope. Oh, you blew it, Billy.
He needed at least one more line.
Oh, you blew it. Oh,
Dude, if he'd have landed that,
I hear the Wild World of Sports song in my head. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat.
Hurt my pride severely on those ropes.
dude, he long
the
jumped that
ski
water
jump guy goes helicoptering off the side of the ramp. Watch this.
Bam.
Oh!
Ooh.
Caught the ropes, Billy Crystal, 10,000.
And almost got it again.
I know he almost got it in the neck the second time. Jesus Christ.
I'm ready.
I want to see the long jump of the water. Darn it.
Cost ABC heavily in this event. We're ready for the next pair.
We're ready for the next pair. Let's get them lined up on the line.
You show a man from Atlantis who's not on Dallas yet.
Right.
And Lyle Wagner. We've talked
You show him
about
discount Robert Conrad.
Wagner, who is a tough-looking,
Going on 50.
Going on. That makes two of us.
That 49, is that
Kirkwood High
45? And you're like, what are we talking about? Are we rounding up by tens or what?
Time perhaps to meet him up close and personal. Famed. for
Yeah, you
his
bet your ass that's going to leave a mark.
Burnett show.
Billy Crystal went to bed that night with a rope-shaped impression across his whole midsection.
Hey, can I confess a secret?
Yes.
So when I was you know what hacky sack is?
Oh, come on, dude.
Come on, man. You know I gotta ask. So yes, okay. You know it. You're in California, of course you do. Anyway, so when I was growing up, I was a bit of a hacky sacker, and we'd be out there messing around and stuff. And one day I was I think I was talking to my mom, maybe one of my aunts, and I was like, I'd like to figure out how to do this better without so much effort. And my aunt walked in and dropped a pair of 9-inch stiletto heels on the table. She said, "Do it in those," and walked away. And I took them and threw them at the foot of my bed. And for a couple of months, I didn't even look at them. And then one day I decided, you know what? It works for dance. If you can dance in stiletto heels, you can dance anywhere. So, good God.
God, that guy's a machine.
Like, good God, man. Like, I almost missed it.
Man from
They gave
Atlanta
him
representing.
just enough cocaine. Just enough. Exactly the right amount of cocaine.
Yeah, seriously. He didn't even need to do his little gay butterfly kick.
Wow. That was amazing. Anyway, so yeah, I eventually put on the freaking heels and practiced to my heart's content until one day at school, I was standing around playing with a bunch of guys, and slowly everybody walked away, and I realized I was had been standing there alone with a pair of Skechers on, just ollieing for 10, 20 minutes straight, just standing there. Good God, that man's like the Flash himself. It was wild.
I know that was a pretty impressive display.
Come on.
Look at that.
Will you, Bruce?
Look at that.
He looks so good on this on the monkey bar.
Not bad for a man who was born a fish.
Okay, Bruce, because he's an extraordinary
I
man.
love the futuristic space age typeface they're using for the screen graphics. That is just precious.
It's lovely.
Lead him into Buddhism.
You know, we could do better than that
There
right
it is.
now.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about.
A man from
There it is. Look at that.
About
How masculine is that?
Show, and that it began about 2 years ago with a friend of mine saying, what would happen if a body washed up on a beach?
All right, we're in the last 10 minutes. I think it's shot
but it
time.
had green eyes and web hands, and you later found out it came from Atlantis. And I said, that's an interesting idea.
You know how this goes, right?
On the telephone.
Here's to you and here's to me, and may we never disagree, but if we do, to hell with you. Here's to me.
So on. It ended up
Salute.
9 months later with a television pilot. We found
Go.
out, dealing with the research, that
Woo.
below about 3,500 feet in the ocean, no one
As a
knows
show of conviviality, I will take a drink of my
why it
Pacifico.
goes down to maybe 36,000 feet. We decided we would
Hey,
treat
let's do a Bud Light stream next week.
as outer
I hate
space,
Bud Light.
where we can go.
We could
aboard
dress up in
the ship,
dresses.
and our
We'll do what we could like invent
And
other.
I think I'm willing to buy Bud Light just to do a stream mocking Bud Light.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If we can find them.
I still make a point each time I'm in a grocery store or whatever to even if I have no business in the beer aisle, I always go past the beer aisle just to see how big the stack of unsold Bud Light is, and it's always massive. Still,
Dude. Oh wow! A couple of weeks ago, I went through my local Harvey's over here, and I walked in there, and right next to the door there was a stack of Bud Light. And I just kind of giggled and moved on, only to find the entire Bud Light section over there, which has been reduced. Like over the past few months, has gone from being half of the cooler to being a little allotted section at the end where they used to keep the Dos Equis and stuff. The Dos Equis gone.
Yeah, since you bring that up, I've noticed in a couple of the convenience stores I frequent where Bud Light has lost its normal pride of place in the cooler where it's normally right at eye level, and they've moved it all the way up to the very top or all the way down to the very bottom because it just doesn't sell. So you need to give pride of place to the beers that do sell, and it ain't one of them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is I found it hard to try to figure out what is selling because the Bud Light's there and the Smirnoff is there, but the rest of it's just picked clean like it's been eaten by vultures.
Ooh, look at that Goodyear blimp shot.
Battle of the Network Stars.
Do they still have the Goodyear blimp?
I don't know. I'm sure I could find out. Of course.
Because I remember when I was a kid, you would see the Goodyear blimp just flying around randomly.
I'm sorry. They were talking to Grizzly Adams. I had to hear that.
You had to swoon, didn't you?
I did. I panicked.
Now the right leg goes under the rope, but it's not the right leg she injured. She comes back on down, and if
we're still breaking down the Michelle Phillips ankle injury, are we?
I would too. I'd take at least one more look at that.
I'll massage it for her.
I'll rub it. She needs some Sasquatch rubbing, I swear. It's research.
The agony of victory, as I said earlier. You think you're up to
Michelle Phillips, would you like Howard Cosell to massage your injured ankle?
Heard it so when we talk. You really are. Good luck to you.
You must be a psychic.
Of course he's a psychic.
Yes, there is still a Goodyear blimp, and yes, it is still flying.
He's 30 years old here.
She is a magnificently interesting woman.
An interesting woman.
Would say right now,
that's one way of putting it.
Film Valentino, and co-starring with the brilliantly gifted Rudolph Nureyev. But her talents don't stop there. With the late Mama Cass Elliott, she was part of Mamas and the Papas. And she lives alone now with her daughter.
Nope, we're not doing that.
Yeah, no.
I heard it. I might not have caught it soon enough. Well, I tried real hard.
You kind of you forget how damn young she was when she was in the Mamas and the Papas, because I think that started when she was like 16 or some shit.
14. I think she was 14.
Was she?
Yeah, my mom had a fixation on those. That, in fact, I think I might have all of their early albums, like even like the old 78s and stuff. She was nutty about them, and Elvis. I've got a bunch of original Elvis vinyls.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at them in probably 20 years. I played a couple of them when I first moved in here, and I realized I had a full like stereophonic record player in there in the living room. I plugged it in. We listened to one of the Elvis Christmas albums, and then I hunted through until I found one of the original Hound Dog. And I don't think I haven't played a record on that record player since.
I absolutely love the Elvis Christmas album during from the Sun Records era. That's one of the best Christmas albums there is. That's one of the ones I listen to every single year.
I've got that one and the special Bing Crosby collection that was put together a couple of years after that.
Also a good one.
Dude, it is awesome. Like, you don't realize how many excellent Christmas songs there are until you hear Bing Crosby throw them out. Wow.
Yep. Valerie Bertinelli versus Michelle Phillips. I support the winner no matter who it is.
Kind of want to zoom in further for obvious reasons. All 4 of them.
Yes, you got that right.
Well, you got to admit, Valerie Bertinelli's kind of outclassed here. I mean, the other chick's like 7'3".
Oh,
Valerie
I know.
Bertinelli's
Yeah,
like
yeah. She's
6'1".
just, yep.
She's like a toy. Which is not a bad thing, ladies. She's a size half.
Yeah, seriously.
Never had a chance. Oh, no, she might have me there. Best Christmas album, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons featuring Jungle Bells.
I don't think I know that album.
Dude. All right, so the Four Seasons did all right, so the guys that were the Four Seasons did a bunch of like peripheral work for different artists. I mean, like all kinds of artists. I can't even name them all. But they would just like, they'd be in town doing some crap, and I'm being facetious here when I say this, but like some other act would come through town doing a song for an album, and the Four Seasons would just show up and be like, we want to play on the album. And if you had Elvis Presley show up at your front door and be like, I want to sing a song with you, you start going, me. Let's work this out, bud. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, kind of like the Jordanaires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they would just, they were willing to be on all kinds of things, and if they were available, you got them to be on your record, and bully for you.
And the funny thing about this is there's virtually no evidence of which albums or songs specifically the Four Seasons were involved in, because whoever it was that was doing that stuff didn't push for having credits and stuff put into the record labels. They just showed up and played music.
Yep. Yeah, and there's a lot of things like that from the old days where they don't even have an accurate record of who played on the record. It was just whoever showed up that day.
Well, I mean, back in the old days, you'd have house bands that would just shuffle around like it wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
Easy winner. NBC wins the obstacle course.
And so some of the old independent record labels, like or studios, like Muscle Shoals, for example.
Yeah.
They had their house band, and most of them would be around every day, and whoever came in to record, that's whose record they would be on, and they wound up being on hundreds of records from all kinds of different people.
NBC, the winners in the obstacle course event. Captain Haggerty, come on. Good luck to you,
Yeah, give Grizzly a hug.
Yes, sir. And then go take a shower to get all the oil off.
Yep. Go wrestle a bear together.
Yep, I would. That man invited me to go wrestle a bear. We'd just have to wrestle a bear.
Damn right. I'd wrestle a bear with that man.
Certainly.
Very close.
Zero experience. I'd do it.
Ooh, it's a close one.
I don't think we need all the background nerves on it.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, you never know where the copyright claim comes from. I have done videos, I have done live streams where I played entire freaking videos. Nobody said a word, no copyright, nothing. And then I turn around and do a different video by the same artist and play 15 seconds of it. Bam, they copyright claim me. And I'm like, what is it? And I go back and look, and it's just some little doodity in the background that was playing. Didn't have nothing to do with the video I was watching.
Yeah, I've had the same thing happen. Like you upload the full video and it gets a copyright claim, and then you upload a part of the full video that has the exact same thing that got the copyright claim, and it doesn't get a copyright claim.
Yeah. I'm thinking that part of that has to do with the perceived intention of the video.
Probably.
Yes, slow motion. Give me that in slow motion.
Give Daddy more of that.
Yep. You're slipping. Oh, yes, sir.
Yep.
Come on, cameraman. You're slipping. Not her hands. No one cares about
we don't need her hands. Yeah. Feel free to make it slower, too. Let's see the super ultra slow mo.
Do you really want to? Because I can do it.
A new iron after 30 years. That is pretty damned exciting.
Yes. I'm proud of you for moving on in your life. Finally.
I think I've only had my iron for about 10 years.
I'm not sure I could find my iron, but I'm certain I have one around here somewhere, but I haven't seen it in 10 years.
I just need it for when I dress up in the tweed suit to do the Kamala Harris ringside introduction.
That's the 2-hour mark. I'm putting my hair up. I'm sweating like a dog over here. I'm in Georgia, dude. It is hot as goat crazy over here.
You know, there's a funny story about that Johnny Cash video of mine.
Oh, I'm riveted.
See, the take that wound up getting published was the fourth take, and I was actually happier with the third take. Felt like the third take went really well, except halfway through the final verse, my mic stand collapses.
I hate that shit.
Just falls right on the damn desk, and so gotta take it again. And then I'm thinking as I'm doing the fourth take, I can feel myself just dumping sweat like a pig right now. If I don't get through the rest of this take, I'm gonna have to stop and towel myself off. And somehow I think that wound up contributing to the overall vibe of the song.
Okay, no, I can
a sweaty man just trying to get the hell out of here.
When I was doing a Mississippi Squirrel Revival, at first I was just going to do a version of it, and I've got 3 recordings of me singing Mississippi Squirrel Revival legitimately. And then after screwing it up, I think 6 times, I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to do something different. And I just busted out the Alex Jones voice and did it in one take like it was meant to be.
They're turning the damn frogs gay.
I have it on good authority that Hillary Clinton's vagina smells just like brimstone. Go get some power bars and a couple of my vitamin supplements.
Do we have shirtless Robert Conrad bowling outdoors right now?
I'm aroused.
I think I just swooned 3 times.
I swooned in my pants a little bit.
Yeah, talk about things I could watch all day. Jesus Christ.
Ooh, did you see that form? That was a strike before it left his fingers.
He's even wearing his Pappy Boyington dog tags. Look at that.
Yeah. From Soap.
Talk about taking your work home with you.
Right?
That sucker looks so young you can't even tell it's Billy Crystal hardly.
Right? Oh, but you hear him and you know.
Oh, he's doing his Ali impression.
All right. Some turkey, yeah? Let's see if
some turkey, yeah.
Oh, nice. Fucking shot, dude.
Wow.
That was a 7-9, wasn't it?
6. This one off the corner.
Show us the pins. Come on. We
Show
don't need
us
to see
pins. I don't care about
the pins.
Just pins. Pins.
A really remarkable spare for
okay, yeah, that was great, Billy. It was amazing.
Yeah,
excellent.
Thanks for showing us the guy instead of the shot. That was really helpful.
Billy Crystal just rolled a spare.
29-year-old Billy Crystal. So that makes him what,
Looks
79
great.
now?
Shh. Shh. Is he alive?
Pretty sure. I'll look it up.
More music. And we all know who Billy Crystal is. We don't need a background on him 30 years ago. Uh-oh. This might
Billy
be going
Crystal,
south.
75 years old.
Wow. That is an amazing achievement. One man, one life.
One man, one life, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most spectacular feats in the history of human athletics we have just witnessed right here today on Battle of the Network Stars.
I can do a better impression like this. Now we go back to the most amazing show in the world. I don't have enough Jim Beam to do that, though.
This is Howard Cosell coming to you live from directly outside a trailer which contains 16 empty gin bottles.
All right, so like next time we should just both do the entire show in Howard Cosell voices and not explain it to anybody.
I would be totally amenable to that plan.
We just sit here and talk back and forth as if it's perfectly ordinary. I had an idea. I was trying to get that when I'm words difficult, English hard. So on Sully's House of Thrillers, there's a guy there called Burnt Flowers. That's his channel name. His name's Steve-O or something like that. And he has about 30 solid voices that he does and a few mixes. And I mean, they're good. He does a better Cowardly Lion than I do, and I do a damn good one. When we were doing the casting for Wizard of Oz, I came in as Cowardly Lion and was like, "Yep, you're the Cowardly Lion." And he's like, "Well, I kind of wanted to try for that one, but I'll do the Wizard." And I was like, "Let me hear your Cowardly Lion." And he nailed it. He sounded more like the Cowardly Lion than the guy who actually did it. I was like, "Nope, sorry, I've been outclassed. If you want the Cowardly Lion, it's all yours. I'll run sound or something backstage."
But yeah, you've got the Cowardly Lion visual aesthetic down pat. Doesn't that count for anything?
Obviously not. My man outclassed me by spades, dude. I'm not even joking. It was amazing. And I even do a decent voice when it comes down to it. You know, but he nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, that's not an easy one to do. It's probably one I wouldn't even attempt. What are you doing, Billy Crystal?
He's being progressive. Yes.
Being progressive. Yeah, this is
very
50 years before its time right here.
With Joan Rivers. Back to the
with Joan Rivers.
Admiral Danglin Dick Levine would be proud of him, I think.
Watch how I do this.
I will.
I keep forgetting that guy exists.
Just boast a big, strong man, a southpaw.
I will never let that guy forget he exists.
Moline. Whoa.
Look at that form. Like I said, that's another one that was a strike before it left his fingers.
Discount Robert Conrad has got it in the bag for the bowling alley. The previous year's broadcast must have done pretty well if they were setting up an outdoor bowling alley. That can't have been cheap.
Yeah. I got a weird one. In 2009, when I broke my pelvis and back, I bowled I think it was a 289, something like that.
You got me by 10. My best is 279.
Oh, that wasn't my best. That was anyway. It doesn't matter. The last game I bowled before I broke my back was a 289. 10-15 years and an amazing drug addiction later, and I get back together enough and clean enough that I feel like I might go bowling, and was invited to go bowling by a very beautiful girl, and I went and I bowled a 290. First time I touched a ball ever. And she looked at me and she went, because ironically, she wasn't with me the last time I bowled, but the time before that. And she was like, "Didn't you bowl like a 290 last time?" I was like, "No, it was 289. I remembered that one. I don't remember what I bowled with her. But she might have. I just don't remember." And I walked in, did a 290, and she sat there, stared at me. She was like, "When's the last time you bowled?" "I know you haven't touched a ball in at least the last 5 years." And I was like, 8 years, maybe. She was like, "You should have been professional, dude." I'm like, "I don't know, man. Maybe not." All of that skill stems from a summer I spent in the mountains with a key to a bowling alley.
That 279 I rolled was I was ditching school one day in 10th grade.
Yeah.
Just went to the bowling alley and I wasn't that good of a bowler, but somehow that day I rolled 9 consecutive strikes. I was perilously close to a perfect game, believe it or not. And then 10th frame, I think it was strike and then 9, and then I missed despair or something like that. But it wound up being a 279.
Right.
Got announced over the loudspeaker and everything.
When I went up there right after we finished, and I bowled like I think it was a 289 to a 280. I can't remember. Anyway, and it pops up, and the guy right next to me had bowled a perfect game, one lane over. He just laid out his first perfect game ever, and he was absolutely bathing in it, man. Yeah, there we go.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody roll a 300 in person.
That's the only time I've ever seen it in my life. And here's the funny thing. He had showed up in the first round, the first game they did. He had been doing it like granny style and pushing it off with his feet and stuff like that. And then on the next game, which he didn't do real well on that one, but on the next game, I remember this clear as bell. He looked over at his buddy. He said, "I'm fixing to throw down a perfect game." He went to his bag, opened it up, and took him a little snort out of his flask, put it back in, and walked over, and sure enough, did it. And I had just bowled probably the best game I'd ever bowled in my life, if I had to guess. And I was sitting there because, like you said, usually you do really, really good. Somebody notices, and homie just straight smoked me next door. I was excited for him.
Yeah, when I rolled that 279, it was just me and my friend there, and there happened to be some guy sitting at the bar behind who was watching me roll it, or else there wouldn't have been a witness. And I roll my 279, and my friend goes up to the desk because he wants him to announce me over the loudspeaker, and they say, "Oh, come on, that kid didn't really roll a 279. You probably just punched it into the computer." So they went over and asked the guy who was sitting at the bar to verify it. He said, "Yeah, that kid just rolled 9 strikes in a row. I sat here and watched it. Fucking announce him over the loudspeaker. He earned it."
What was funny about that trip is we went up there, and there were supposed to be like this whole crowd of people, and the people who had all RSVP'd to that event didn't show up, but a bunch of other people that didn't RSVP did. So a little bit of feng shuangling, and poof, we were in there bowling, eating hot wings, and shooting shots. It was pretty fun. I gotta admit it. Last time I ever bowled, I've never been back. Wrong button.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, TJ.
Boy, that's nostalgia.
Come on in before the candles go off.
Yeah, we're having a candlelight cake.
It's my mom's birthday. Her cake.
Nice.
Then why are you lighting it without your mother around? I'm so confused.
Seriously. I guess you want to give it back. I'd really like you to keep wearing it.
This is not slow motion running.
Want to?
It's not. We're going to mute it and move on. I have no idea why this is in here. I guess they're just showing who Valerie Bertinelli is.
Christy McNichol, ain't it?
I guess you're right. My bad. Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Hey, asshole, get off my girl.
He just lets it happen. Fucking freak. Sorry. I can't. Wait, was that the dad or the older brother? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I was just wondering that myself.
I mean, if it's the older brother, fine.
What the whole relationship dynamic is there.
If that's the dad, that's bad news. If that's the stepdad, that's really, really bad news.
Yeah, that's the worst of 2 bad case scenarios right there, I think.
Because I mean, like my sister, dude, I walked in and saw my sister, like she's my older sister. What the hell am I supposed to say about that? She'll just beat me up. I'm not Yeah. And if you know my dad, I'm required to let her beat me up. That's the requirement.
So we're kayaking in a swimming pool, and somebody turned around already. Jesus.
Yeah, I gotta hear this. This is exciting.
Yeah, Howard's gonna have a ball with this one.
just a beginner in that boat because she did so
Well, he's smoking it.
But here, Lance is also doing well. When he came off the start of the race, he actually turned his boat around. He lost control, but now he's catching up a little bit.
Catching up, Bruce, but having a whole new problem.
They don't seem to be playing by any civilized rules I know of.
Yeah, this is complete anarchy.
He's in the lead, as you can see. Lance Kerwin second, Karen Kay trailing. Look at Lance.
Look at him go.
And Howard Cosell just calling this thing totally dead solid serious, like it's a legitimate sporting event.
Well,
like
he
it's
can't
a
tell the
heavyweight title
difference.
fight.
I mean, he's 2 bottles in. As far as he knows, it is a heavyweight fight.
There's 2 key points in this race. One is the exchange. The other one is going around the buoy because they're the hardest. And here comes
Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'm gonna get me a fifth of Jim Beam.
Vacation. Too easy.
Struggles into his boat. CBS trailing. He has his oar. Look at where Parker Stevenson is already. And he's negotiating around that buoy, or at least trying to
You
do
couldn't put that line in that movie today.
Well, I'm from Georgia. That strikes a little too close to home there, honey. Because Daddy said I'm the best kisser.
CBS, but Belinda Montgomery may have some trouble with this buoy, Bruce.
It's definitely hard to try to maneuver it around there. And as you can say, oops, she almost went out of the side of the boat right there. Parker Stevenson coming in strong. He should.
I'm pretty sure it was really
having her ass end in front for some reason.
Well, I think hers was losing air.
Oh,
look at her. Look how bent it is in the middle. Or maybe it's just that bodacious.
That's a fairly serious problem there, sweetheart.
I like seeing her work through it, though.
It's true.
It's developed into a race for second between CBS and NBC, Bruce.
Belinda definitely had her problems trying to get around that buoy. She got hung up in those ropes and everything. She seems to be on her way.
Welcome back. Up your nose with a rubber hose. Ooh, Scully's talking about doing Grease. And there is a chance, there is a possibility they may have me doing the main vocals on that.
Ooh.
I have requested the ability to pre-record the song so that I don't have to freewheel it.
Swiss Miss, if I'm not mistaken, it was Jane Krakowski who said that line in Vacation, wasn't it?
Turns it over to Chris DeRose for the final leg.
Real men supporting women's sports. Amen, sister.
Yep. That one gets shown. We are all about women's sports, especially when they're in slow motion.
Around here, but MacArthur, look at him. He's doing very well for his first time ever getting in that rowboat. And looks like Conrad sort of spinning his wheels there. He's not getting anywhere.
As an observation, bro, you have picked up 6 subscribers during this live stream that did not show up to this live stream.
Is that right?
Apparently, it was
hey, that's what happens when you got a video blowing past 82,000 views.
And I'll tell you another thing. Part of those subscribers have not showed up yet because it takes them like 18 hours to pop in. So that's what you got yesterday, really. Also, YouTube's lying to you about how many people are watching, because if me and Swiss Miz are watching, that's at least 2.
Yeah. I learned long ago to ignore that number.
Yeah, don't buy that number ever at all. It's not real. It's a figment of their imagination. There might be 20 people in here and we just don't know it. Oh, they noticed me talking about it, so like, oops, click. I will gladly support most women from behind with my hands, right, no problem.
I spoke too soon. It's not 80. It's not at 82 yet. It's at 81,958. But give it 20 seconds and it'll be at 82.
Right.
Like right now, as we're sitting here, that video is popping 512 views an hour.
Yep. That's
that video
glorious.
From a month ago almost.
Right. No, I mean, it takes a little while. All right. So if you had 10,000 subscribers and you release that same video, it may have broken 1 million views by now because it would have started with the first 10, right?
Right.
Instead, it had to grow from what, 180, 210. Where were you at the point, give or take? I don't remember.
As far as subs,
Yeah, because that's
250.
250, right? So that's your starting quotient whenever you start the mathematics of the algorithm. That's your starting mathematics. So 250 people saw it, and they told 250, but not more.
Also, fun fact: that one video, 38% of my lifetime views.
Yeah, no, and that on one hand, it feels bad. At the same time, it's good to be validated.
No, it feels great. I'll take it.
Well, I mean, when I was doing my shorts and stuff, I kind of tripped into the success of all of the YouTube stuff. You know, I'm naturally kind of funny and a little bit over the top, and that seems to fit pretty well in the YouTube sphere. But when I did my first Odin Seas, and it ran up 30,000 views while I was asleep and killed my phone with notifications. Like, I had it plugged up and charging, and the darn thing sat over there going, nyeh, 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 nyeh. And me and my wife were sitting back, leaned up against the bed at about 11:30 that night. And it started. It had been released for 24 hours. Nobody had seen the damn thing. It had like 7 views on it. And then my phone goes, nah.
Yeah, and that was kind of my gold standard when this video first started blowing up, because I knew you had a video with 35,000, and I thought, man, if I could get a video with 35,000, I'd be as cool as Squatch.
That is a short. You have a full video. You did a music video that's breaking down 80,000 views, bro. You know how much cooler that shit is than I am. I cheated at every freaking turn. I could teach you how to cheat like that too.
Yeah, and my previous best for a non-short video was 565.
Yeah.
So we went from 565 to 82,000.
Right. And the thing is, you don't know. Your very next video, the very next parody song you do, the very next, hell, it might be the next political commentary you do. Might do better, might do worse. You never know. I think you tapped into something between the timing of that, the release, the way you did it. It's a perfect. I ran it. I'm not joking.
One time goof. As God is my witness, I thought because I was gonna do it William Shatner style, the way I traditionally do them. And then I thought, well, hey, it's only Johnny Cash. I mean, even me, that's within my vocal range. Maybe I'll just sing this one for the hell of it. And then maybe I'll pretend to play guitar. And then I go into my closet. Maybe I could come up with a Johnny Cash wardrobe. And that's all it was.
Oh, it's brilliant, though. It's absolutely brilliant. There's a level of perfection that if you manage to achieve it again, I wish you all the fucking success you could possibly get from it, dude. I really do. Couldn't happen to a better creator. I went back. I've probably watched every show you've ever done over the past year or so, because anytime I got bored, I'd go and dig up some random crap from 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. And when I was doing the intro bit, I thought about that, and I went, all right, you've changed your wardrobe. You've changed your set. Oh, no, that's part of the Sasquatch Shills mantra. If I notice that you're missing something, I'll try to plug it into place. I might suck at it, but it's worth a shot. But when I went looking through it,
I thought it was just great.
I also included a bunch of fluff in there so that future videos we can cut the fluff out and put clips in place of it, because I do things in layers. My autism forces me to. Anyway, when I was going through and picking out the clips, it's like, okay, you sit behind the desk and you talk. And I know you've changed your wardrobe relatively recently and actually added quite a bit to it in the past month or two. But I went and got the very first with the full set and everything, with the blue everywhere. And that's the opening. It comes in with the matrix feed, and then it fades into the blue and goes straight to the black. So I cut out almost 2 years of your show, and I'm kind of feel bad about it.
No, you're fine, dude. I thought it was just splendid.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Now we're gonna go on to the running relay.
Into your partners.
I don't know who Kevin Dobson is.
Switches to her right.
Now, how far should she be?
Robert Conrad checks.
I know who Robert Conrad is.
YouTube math, yeah. 25,000 plus 25,000 equals 9,000 views.
You got that right.
The event, the running relay. To be introduced first, the team of stars with shows on the ABC network. First,
Penny Marshall.
and the star of Laverne and Shirley, Penny Marshall. Second, the newest of Charlie's Angels, Cheryl Ladd.
Ooh, I like me some Cheryl Ladd. She gets bonus points for the headband, too.
Fourth, the finest cheerleader
Jade
in the history of
Kaplan.
Erasmus Hall High
Welcome
School.
back, Cotter.
Cross your back with a Cadillac.
The captain of the ABC team, Gabe Kaplan. From Westchester, New York, and Princeton University, Parker Stevenson.
I used to have hair like that.
New York, Billy Crispin.
Nah, I've always pretty well had long flowing silky locks, man. It's just the way my mama made me. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Hate me because I'm an asshole.
Yeah, I think the last time another person cut my hair was in high school.
From Nyack, New York, Jimmy MacArthur. From New York, New
And I'm not
York,
even exaggerating a little bit about that.
I have a stylist who, if she could keep her ass out of jail long enough, I'll get another trim. But in 10 years, she's the only person that has touched my hair beyond me. And I don't trim it. I just put it in a ponytail and keep it clean.
We're not perverts for enjoying young Valerie Bertinelli, are we?
Yes, almost certainly. We're white.
Okay.
We're adult.
Right.
We're
I'm
certainly
just
purple.
checking.
And racist. I mean, hell,
And racist.
it says
Well,
so right
obviously,
there.
that goes without saying. Go get him, Grizzly.
Yeah, everybody. Wow. Look at that monstrosity.
Who the hell is that dude?
I have no idea. He must be their ringer. He's an actual sports icon or something. I don't know. 880
Kelly
yards.
Savalas and the future Caitlyn Jenner.
But also because the relay itself is a little bit unorthodox.
It's too bad Telly Savalas didn't live long enough to become transgender. That would have been pretty interesting.
Are the passing zones for each lane. Now there's 7 runners on a team, 3 women, 4 men.
Wow.
The first 6 runners have to run 110 yards.
Can you imagine him in a
Last
wig?
runner,
I
220
can't.
yards. So he's got his work cut out.
I can.
And for the race, let's go to Howard Cosell.
Gives me kind of a special feeling in my trousers, actually.
To begin, Penny Marshall inside lane, Lyle Wagner middle lane, and Lance Kerwin outside lane. Staggered start, as you could all see.
You might want to wash them.
Kaplan of ABC using his 3 ladies on the
You can
first
say that
relay.
again.
Best for last as he sees it. We're coming to the end here of the first lap.
And I can say it sexier.
Lance
You might want to wash them.
struggling a bit. Penny Marshall didn't do that badly. Look at Cheryl Ladd.
Go get him, Cheryl.
That girl's the Flash, son. Look at her.
Awfully good, that's for sure. But
Straight walking him down.
2 women now running for ABC are still with the other runners, and so all the strong runners.
Oh, she flagged out towards the
That's the
end.
key. Jimmy MacArthur handed a nice lead to Karen Kay, but Karen Kay is struggling. Christy McNichol is moving up. Karen Kay.
You raised
Well, I got-
a point, Swift.
I got hair on my head and hair on my face and damn near no more anywhere else on my body. And that's because grass don't grow on a playground.
I'll tell you a secret about Lady Curmudgeon, too. Ever since when we first started going out when we were 15 years old, She thought 60-year-old Sean Connery was the sexiest man in the world, and she still thinks that today.
You might want to keep her away from me.
I have, in her eyes, I have never been able to compete with Sean Connery.
Sounds like a party. Put your watching the party. And that's a terrible Sean Connery. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't even attempt a Sean Connery. I couldn't even do it justice. I can't even get into that register.
The reason it's so bad, though, is because it's not actually a Sean Connery impression. It's a Jim Carrey impression of him doing a Sean Connery impression.
Yeah,
and so it's horrible.
The 2 layers of separation impression.
It's got little marbles and little pebbles in it all the time, and it can really hurt the bottom of your feet. I'm surprised. He seems to be struggling a little bit, but no problem.
I love how they're doing this on a dirt track.
Built up by Billy Crystal.
Yeah, they just want some good freaking road rash when they go down.
See, there you go. Sean Connery in a kilt. I made her swoon.
That'll make me swoon, man. Especially
me too. I mean,
like anything
if I had to
before
turn gay for somebody, it would probably be Sean Connery, if I'm being honest.
And I'm dead serious. Anything he did before The Rock, that man is an absolute unit.
We started the women out first, and they held. And then when our 4 guys started, women were fabulous. We had it easy. Our women were really what won it first.
Oh yeah, I remember when we went to see The Rock in the theater, which would have been a couple years after we started going out.
96,
we would have been
97.
about 18 years old then, and she actually swooned right there in the theater when Sean Connery had long hair. She just couldn't even cope with that.
My mom was such a Connery file. She like if anything at all with Sean Connery and it was playing, your night was screwed. That's what we're watching. I'm talking news, the president, nothing could outclass it. We're watching Sean Connery. And as soon as he was done, whatever it was, if she just changed the channel. She made no bones about why she was watching. That's Sean Connery. We're watching that.
And it almost doesn't even matter what movie it is, because just listening to the man's voice is a gratifying experience by itself. It doesn't even matter what he's saying.
Well,
like,
I mean,
I could listen to that guy read the instruction manual for a blender and be happy.
Hold on. Place object 1 into slot B.
You got this.
Just slide it down quite gently.
That's not bad. That's better than I could do.
Well, first, you have to remember how to have a proper lisp. He always
I wish I could try and compete with that, but I'm not even going to bother.
Dude, I've been doing this stupidity for years and years and years. But The Rock, I did an entire show on The Rock being associated directly with 007. He was a captured Bond.
Oh yes, there has been that conspiracy theory for many years now.
I brought up. Oh, we just lost you, Bo. Oh no, you clicked it. I got all of the conspiracy videos that had to do with The Rock and 007 and why it was and why it ain't and who says it is and who says it's not. And we just lost him. He's gone completely, unfortunately. But we're going to move on with the show just like he's still here, because that's the way we do it in America today. Yep.
Wanted to be a professional baseball player.
Professional baseball player. Absolutely.
Right, Crystal, see if you can do it again, you little twerp.
Talking smack too. All right.
Sign you with the Morris office. Come on, Crystal, Daddy-o.
Ooh.
He didn't even hit the target, and Jamie Farr went down.
That seems like he was robbed.
Call that wind velocity.
That was, I think that happened when you were involved in your move. Shit, probably 5 months ago, 6 months ago, maybe. But yeah, it's the man in the video breaks it down fairly succinctly that if you take into account the arrangements of the previous Bond movie and the time frame that we're talking about of where Bond was when he was picked up, and then the story from The Rock of how they captured this guy, it lines up pretty succinctly. You're back. Just take over the world.
Not sure what the hell happened there.
It happens. I have it happen about once every 3 hours on StreamYards.
Yeah, like all my gear just dropped out completely at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's how it happens too. Right before you came in, I had crashed out and I had just joined back in when you popped in. But we just had a ghost pop on by Billy Crystal. He missed the hit and it dropped him in the water anyway.
Oh, that sounds like a bit of corruption.
Either that or they just didn't set the platform right when he got up there. He was kind of bouncing around.
Yeah, it could be.
When you talk to her, you know she's got a sense of where she's at.
Where she's at. She is a beautiful
the last one of these we watched, Grizzly Adams went in the tank, and I think they still haven't cleaned all the hair out of the drain yet.
Yeah, they just threw that one away. I hear tell it's drifting around out in Sargasso currently.
South Dakota was a major step. There were a lot of people there who said I would.
Boy, she got an
island in its own right. You could house 200 people there.
Right.
Of all of those people.
That's just the accumulated fur.
Yep.
The people that said I couldn't do it.
How much help have you had from your husband, David Ladd, after all the son? One of the greatest of all.
I bet you get a lot of help from your husband.
Mom, man.
Enormous help. I mean, he's a wonderful person, as you know. He's very together, and he's been in the business for 20 years.
There's no doubt why she became a starlet.
He's been in the business since I was 6.
She popped a 10,000 watt smile. It was that long. Just bing.
That's what every kid did during the summer. They went off and made a movie.
We have both, of course, in our careers. Times ready to toss in the towel, ready to say, forget it. Who needs this? It's not fun.
I can try. I'll have to go dig it back up.
It was either David who was depressed, and
it's easy enough to find.
Or I would say, "Oh, I can't do it. Let's just go buy a little store somewhere and
I
have
think
12 kids." And
I think that's after I started doing my links and my descriptions, like YouTube wants us to. Have you started doing that?
Not as much as I should.
Oh, dude, if you do it before, like you scheduled this, like days before, if you do it days before, and anything is in those videos that might need a accreditation or something, they go ahead and put that stuff in there. If any notations need to be added or anything like that, it'll be there before you even go live, and you don't have to wonder, which is neat.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be of heightened importance now that I'm monetized, I would think.
Depending on how you go about doing these things. I don't know if these are public domain or if the manner of you doing your videos or your live streams is considered reactionary or educational or anything like that. I've had a lot of people tell me I should change from entertainment to educational.
What the hell is the difference?
An entertainment reactionary, you can cover virtually any topic, but educational, generally you're adding to whatever it is you're watching. So like when I'm watching a video about pelagiatic worms, and I happen to know that they're actually androgynous in multiple sections in their body, but the video doesn't cover that, right? So until you break the worm, it's neither male nor female, but once you break them in two and they sense each other, one turns male, the other half turns female, and then they can breed, which is sexy as all get out, right? I'm from Georgia. That's the way we do it. We're just next door to Alabama.
It's true.
Sorry, I'm swooning over here. I got to do this right.
Use these hands. We can whip these people.
We can whip them. Look at him. You believe that man, right?
Yeah, he's all about this thing, baby.
Yes.
That does not look like the future Grizzly Adams. There it is. Come on, wrestle the bear. Show him wrestling the bear.
Come on. My hero.
Damn straight. That's what a real man looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Run faster.
Yeah, seriously.
You're the one holding on, bro. And I'm gonna tell you, between me, you, and the hole in the ground, I've jumped off crap like that before. You don't stop running.
I hope that's not the real bear cub he jumped off with.
I bet it is.
You know, it's the 1970s. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. I'm just saying, I hope it wasn't.
Oh, dude, I want to do the
animal rights ain't what they used to be.
Yeah, no, that's what I was fixing to say. There's this video about how the early MGM studios did things like Swiss Family Robinson, the lion logo, and all that stuff. How they made those clips.
Yeah.
And it's horrendous. And I need somebody to come in and chat with while we go over that crap. And you're on the list if you're interested. I'll set that up for you. Because
I'm always interested. You never need to ask me if I'm interested.
Well, I have to ask if you're available.
Why do they have this guy in a football referee costume?
Because they have to have something recognizable, and they're all assholes.
The goal line for 2 points. The rusher tries to get to the passer, and if he does so, he gets 1 point.
You're beautiful.
Oh,
this is the football section.
For that, the other half falls into place as we watch our stars play touch football.
They should have Harvey Cosell out there in the ball.
First, and this is the way it was. The key play of the game. Gabe Kaplan at quarterback.
I wonder what a Howard Cosell Telly Savalas drinking session would look like in 1977. Jesus Christ, man.
Dude, I'm gonna I'm gonna have to get me an IV just to watch it.
Right?
CBS. So that played to CBS against
Okay, 11. Damn, really? I guess I have been doing this for about 2 years, haven't I?
Bertinelli and Barbeau is the split end.
I gotta ask you a question, dude. And this is
she dropped it.
This is something that all right, before I started my channel, I ran a game theory program on how to set up a YouTube channel. And for the first 8 months or 5 months or so, I stuck to that method that was suggested by the AI. It worked fairly well, honestly. But I got so many complaints from people who wanted to go and watch old videos that they knew existed that I started leaving them up. And here's part of what I would do. I'd do a Sasquatch Shills, and 24 hours later, I'd private it. I'd edit it into the episode and upload just the episode. And I got so many complaints from people wanting to go back and rewatch the After Darks that I started leaving them up. And I think that was a mistake. That's one of the decisions I regret. Is it valid or not valid, in your opinion?
I don't think I even know enough about all this stuff to have an opinion.
All right, so here's what would go down. I'd film a Sasquatch
You're
Shield.
the expert I come to with my YouTube questions.
Shit. That's the one thing that sucks about being me. I never claimed to be an expert. And not once. I offered to help anyone who needs help that's willing to come on the show. You come on the show, you come back and say, hey, I need a hand. I will see what I can do if I can find somebody that knows. That's actually where I'm most useful.
And since you mentioned that, and in spite of your unwillingness to take credit for anything, I just wanted it to be said that I needed someone to do exactly what you did for me, which is, just come and take me by the hand and explain some of this shit to me and tell me what I ought to be doing next. And that was a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
And
wow. Yeah, I guess so.
And I expect that I wouldn't have a video blowing past 82,000 views if it was not for all of that. So
well, I will absolutely accept every bit of credit.
Reflect that I thank you for that.
Yes, sir. You are most welcome. But I will accept every bit of credit and clout you can throw this way, just not one dime. I will accept free merch. I don't have a problem with like a decal or some vinyl or something I can put on my truck, but
Thank you.
In fact, I want one
I
of those.
I forgot to do the merch routine. All right.
Do it. Wait, hold
Since
on.
I'm
Let's
allowed
get
to
you
have
up.
a merch store now. Watch this. Curmudgeon t-shirt.
Absolutely. Now, hold on. Wait. No, I got to get my nipples up.
Curmudgeon
Oh,
wallet.
You're not taking any more off?
Jim Eagle action figure. Coming soon to Curmudgeon shop. Get your wallets ready.
I hear you, baby. Absolutely.
I got to get myself dressed again.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll help you. We'll just handle it that way. How about that? Oh, wrong button. Let's do it right. Back to this.
Welcome to you, too. Hope you have a happy family.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
All right.
Nothing new here.
I got to see him undressed backstage, folks.
Continues to face back.
Sexiest thing I ever saw. That man's hairier than you could possibly imagine. And it's red everywhere like an
Be
orangutan.
sure and buy a membership if you want to see the outtake video.
Billy Crystal is unquestionably one of the great young talents in this country. Now, ABC had to play Indies.
Wow. His tits I didn't need to see in slow motion.
A victory in the Prior Network Stars competition, did his best. He went for the touchdown constantly for the big 5 points, and he threw well, but not with good fortune.
I'm pleased to hear that your new iron and ironing board are sensational.
I'm glad they passed the cut and the cut and mustard.
Big Dan Haggerty.
Big Dan Haggerty.
This team was well put together. Dan threw beautifully.
Because I do want to make sure you have a good iron with which to iron your curmudgeon t-shirt.
And
yep.
Go against ABC.
Yeah, I might have to dip into some of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Extra per man at
I mean, since they're giving me the opportunity to do it, I figure why the hell not get 20 t-shirts made up just to see if people buy them, and if they buy them, get 20 more.
There you go. We're going to have to talk about how you got that going down. Not live. I mean, backstage. Because I've reached that tier 1 point over there. And I never have. Yeah, no, I never did ask them to send me an email when I made it. And so when you were like, hey, I made tier 1, I was like, cool. Maybe I should check that. Oh, yeah. Regals are where the devil
hides. You can say that again. Words to live by.
I'm sorry, you tickled me with that one.
I would have to say NBC would have the better team. They've got a strong bunch of good. You get a guy like Dan Haggerty out there, and he's a strong bull out there. He can pull. He can pull.
And your prediction, Mr. Savalas?
Well, because they got that 900-pound limit, you can trade in one.
We're closing out with the tug of war, aren't we? Think the business is picking up now.
So we got that ginormous dude that we'd never heard of going against Grizzly Adams. I'm still got $5 on Grizzly Adams.
That sounds like a grudge match for the ages.
Or hold on, how about Valley Bertinelli against that Amazon giantess she was racing against? That's
I'm
not
rooting
fair.
for the side that's got Robert Conrad on it.
Always.
We go. Robert Conrad, 842, the key man, the number 1 man for NBC. Chris DeRose, the number 1 man for ABC. Look at Conrad.
Look at Conrad.
Conrad all day. You don't need to ask me twice.
They're giving everything they've got. Look at that blue flag around the rope. Victor French in trouble.
And Cosell just leaning into it like it's a heavyweight championship fight.
Pull that way, but Peter Isaacson can the way he is. And Big Dan Haggerty stumbling, but they've done it. It is over. There's the blue
It is
flag.
over.
Grizzly Adams.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
But let's be honest, that wasn't a fair competition. Grizzly Adams was on one of the sides.
It's true.
My last one, and I just think things have been great. I'm 42, and I want these young guys to
But we
take
still
this
get a post tug interview with
And a kiss.
Robert Conrad,
And a
with
kiss.
Happy Boying and dog tags on.
$1,000 a person for their victory in the tug of war, even though they won the competition.
I still don't know who that big bastard is.
He looks like a mutant Jeffrey Dahmer.
A little bit, yeah, with the glasses.
Video calibration.
I was a little worried about it the first day, but
I want to tell you, I don't know how you did it with
But once I planted my feet and snatched them all loose, I figured we probably had it. What I did was I braided my back hair into the into the stands and had all of them pull.
Made an
And then I
extra
got my
rope.
nipple hairs.
There was
Gave it
no
to-
rule against it.
I didn't see a single rule in the book. In fact, no one gave me the book.
There was
Can't
no
read
rule that
anyway.
said no braided back hair used as an auxiliary rope. So we did what it took to win.
You have picked up another 4 subscribers. You got to refresh more often, bro.
I know.
You just hit 780, dude. I'm so tickled. Music. Try to mute the music. I'm absolutely tickled,
Oh
dude.
yeah,
Like
780. I almost had to change the title for a 4th time.
I know. I love it. The 500, 600, 700. I was really pulling for it to break 800, so you'd have to change it again.
It got pretty close too.
Oh, wow. I forgot to get my sad tunes for my television, my what do they call them? When like Live Aid, and it's telethon, my telethon host voice.
Telethon, there you go.
Yeah, I need like a really sad tune in the background, like
or benefit concert if you prefer.
Exactly. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, this man has been down on his luck for the past 2 years. He's been working his ass off, trying his best to bring you the best content
mod heart
possible.
tugging
But you
piano
can't do
music.
it on 10 cents a day, and you can't do it on a quarter a day. What you need to do is dig deep down into the bottom.
2 years and 10 months, not a penny.
I could do it, dude. I could totally pull that off.
Into the depths of YouTube anonymity. You know what? I've actually already left instructions that if I should die in a sudden and untimely fashion, I want it etched on my tombstone. The first time he ever sang in public, 80,000 people watched.
Absolutely amazing. Fantastic. I think they're gonna put "I told you I was sick" on my tombstone. Just because I'm that asshole. Oh, that was the end of.
I think we're just about done here, aren't we?
As you see fit, brother. It's your party. Let's do this up right. Hold on. Before you end it, let's do this right. We gotta do that. Bip. All right. Let me do this right. Skadoosh. Scary. Real scary. And get rid of that. We'll pop up some of this activity. I said pop ups. Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Boom. I love that one.
Yeah, no, this is the one that it took me 20 seconds to put it together. Everybody absolutely loves it. So much so that people have come to me going, "Can you make me a background like that?" And I'm like, hell, I don't know how I made this one. I did. But anyway, do your thing.
Swiss Miss, yes, a machete is never a bad idea for any problem you're trying to solve, in my experience. the skillful application of a machete will solve just about any difficulty you get into in life. And with that having been said, thank you very much indeed, everyone, for having watched. Who watched? Thank you for the super chats. Obviously, I am very glad to be in the monetization era, and we'll see how it goes. On behalf of myself and the distinguished Mr. Caucasian Sasquatch, thank you again.
Cap.
See you next time. Have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Do not comply. Get off our lawn.